Let's see. And we're going live. All right, so we are live.
Yo.
Waiting for it to catch up to itself just so that I can see that it's actually working. There we go. There we go.
There it is.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Jose, how's it going? Hey, Ben, how's it going? Hey, Logan, you're in chat.
Always.
Welcome, everybody, to the RC Drift Talk Show, is apparently what we're calling it for, I don't know, because I haven't named it over the past entire year of doing this show, so whatever, I guess. Oddly enough, I saw Alfredo. He has a talk show interview with someone over there in Indonesia, which is also named the RC Drift Talk Show or something like that. So I was like, yeah. Oh, well then. Hey, Mitch, how's it going? And basically, if you are in the chat, if you are watching, go ahead and hop on the Discord. We're going to be talking about some stuff there. We're also going to be doing Roast My Radio. If you haven't heard of our section of Roast My Rig, that's where we're doing it. So if you have a picture of a radio that looks absolutely stellar or not, go ahead and throw it in the Roast My Radio section. Tonight, we've got a special guest here, and I'll actually let Logan do the introducing here. He's going to be running the show tonight, and I just get to sit back and kind of be a part of it. So, Logan, go for it.
Yeah, we got Ron. Took over Tandem RC down in Phoenix in about August, and he's been running the show ever since. Brought P-Tile to the masses, and yeah, I'm excited to talk to him. I think, Adam, it would be a good time to do a bag interview if you have that ready.
Oh, we want to do a bag interview?
You got to do a bag interview.
So, Ron, for you, this is a whole bunch of just random questions that come out of a bag.
Oh, boy.
Are you ready for some rapid-fire questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Question number 1. What surface type do you prefer?
Oh, I definitely prefer Japanese P-Tile, man.
Japanese P-Tile. Okay.
Fair enough, fair enough.
What chassis do you currently own and drive? Preferred chassis.
Preferred GRK4.
Really? Whoa.
Absolutely.
That's polarizing.
Yeah?
Okay.
It's amazing.
I can attest to when I was down there, he has, I don't even know. Probably the most chassis that I've ever seen in one place, but the GRK was definitely the one you were most proud of.
Do you have a dealer, like a stateside dealer?
I'm a dealer.
Oh.
So I'm with R31 House.
Can you get the Sunny Datsun body? The 225 mil body?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I mean, if they're still making it. The only one that I saw that they're really not making, so I just got my quote dealership, but the only one that I wasn't able to get is the R31 wagon.
Oh, that's the popular one.
Yeah, they told me they don't even have the mold for it anymore, but they do have it seemed like everything else they still had. So
right on.
So I can probably look that up for you and probably grab it.
And a Jimny, a 225 mil Jimny.
Okay.
Yeah, we're big into the mini stuff up here. And I've got a high CG mini that would look pretty stellar. Although Jake has one, I could just buy his. But I don't know. Yeah, Jimny and a Sunny Datsun. Okay, if you could eat only one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Man, I might have to say tacos.
Good man.
That's a Phoenix guy right there.
That's a Phoenix.
For sure.
Let's see. Chris Momo says, I need the R31 wagon. Yeah, you just heard it.
Get in line, pal. You and everybody else.
Okay, favorite brand of ESC?
gonna lean towards Yokomo on that.
Any specific reason why?
Just the ease of it, man. You know, you throw it in the car, you pull it up on your phone, and it's there. You know, I run all three, AccuVents, Hobby Wing, and Yokomos, and I don't know that I just feel like the ease of use of the Yokomo and pulling it up on that Wi-Fi, and just, you know, it's just pretty easy. I do like the AccuVents. I like the way it works on my radio, but you know, I also like Sanwa radio, so.
There you go.
Kind of.
It's polarizing.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I definitely would say the Yokomo ones are probably my favorite.
Okay. Favorite candy?
Dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Yep, 72.
Hard
82.
agree. Hard agree.
I don't know. I mean, it's healthier, right? Dark chocolate
Right,
is
that's why.
technically healthier.
Well,
Yeah,
for me, it's just better, but you know, whatever.
No, I think it tastes better too. Yeah, but yeah, no, I was told when I was younger, somebody said something about it being healthy, so I kind of stuck with it.
So wait, does that mean you eat black licorice as well?
Nope.
Ah. Okay. How do you like to set up your suspension?
I like my cars pretty much. I'm sure everybody's probably familiar with an RDX out of the box.
Okay.
They're a little bit springy, but really soft. I kind of like it like that.
Okay. What is your go-to? Well, I guess we already talked about that. Yokomo. Oh, I guess radio. Go-to radio and gyro combo and servo.
So radio wise, I really like my M17
Okay.
from Sanwa. Gyro, Rev D, Revox, and servo is going to be SPO 2D.
Polarizing. Actually, so if not Futaba, I'd definitely be on the bandwagon for SPO2D. What about you guys, Logan, DJ?
Well, I've only ever really had the RSST, and it's such a good value, tunable. That would be mine currently, but I'm about to buy a Futaba servo, so we'll see.
DJ, what about you?
And I'm just on the Yokomo SPO, 3,
Okay.
and a TYD 550.
Ron, what do you want for your next chassis?
GRK5.
Oh, hey, have you seen the M conversion for the GRKs?
The MC2, I think they called it.
Not the MC2 conversion. It's a short wheelbase conversion, so down to a
I have
225.
I have not seen that. Who makes that?
GRK or
Oh,
R31.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, I gotta check that out. I
It-
haven't seen that.
It's basically the same platform, just 225 instead of 257.
Nice.
There are not very many of those that I know of in the States. Preferred motor turn.
10.5.
Yay. And do you specialize in anything like of this hobby, like bodies, electronics, wiring?
Personally,
Yes, personally.
I do a lot of bodies. Yeah,
Yeah, can you show us the rollback?
the rollback.
The
As far as like the
hauler?
body.
Just the hauler you have, the ramp truck thing?
Oh
The
yeah,
ramp
yeah, yeah,
truck.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do that.
this thing's insane.
We got Mile High in the chat. Hey. And Boardhead 27. Hey. That black pre-tile.
That stuff's good, man. Yeah. Whole thing's custom, rollback, all functional.
Oh, so it tilts and it
Yeah.
extends too?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lights, everything, the works. Winch.
Yeah, everything on it works. It's kind of a wiring nightmare. But there's 3-speed controllers. It uses I got 2 receivers in it just because it's running like 8 channels. So I just bump back and forth on my radio, and then everything underneath, like, you know, it weighs a ton, but, you know, custom shock towers, slid the rear end back, just made some aluminum rails, running some slides off of like a 3D printer, some like ball bearing slides, and then just, you know, wired it up to some 12-volt gear driven motors to get it to pull, and it'll pull. I can pull pretty much anything on there, but the biggest truck I've had on it is like a Baja Ray.
Gotcha.
But it'll pull my excavator up on there, and that's like 16 pounds. So
Yep.
I
So
have more trouble. I have more trouble with the cable snapping on the winch than I do, pulling the bed back up. I wasn't thinking, or I would have put the radio or put the batteries and everything in it.
no, it's all good. The just point being, Ron is not just a drift guy.
No, I've pretty much done it all. Off road, on road, you name it. There's my excavator and my semi.
Do you have a forklift?
I do. I have 2.
Nice.
There's one over there by the tower crane. You can kind of see it.
Yeah, I want to get one so I can retrieve cars from the track.
Yeah, looks like
That
we
would
had an
be fun.
accident. Looks like we had an accident earlier. Damn.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
That was a fun kind of experience at your track with all the tire walls. Is sometimes you hit a tire wall and the tires go flying. And it adds to the realism.
Yeah.
So speaking of,
it's gotten pushed back pretty good, but yeah.
so where you're at right now, like I've seen pictures of your shop multiple times. Where is the actual entrance? Like where is the entry door?
The entry door is over there by the refrigerator.
Okay.
See?
Yeah, right there.
Right under the AccuVant sign.
Okay. Because it like from all the pictures, it looks like you walk across the track to get across to the pit tables and whatnot.
There is a door along the track, but it's not.
The track ends here, and then you can walk all the way around it.
Okay.
So we do have one side of the track that you really can't stand on, but it's kind of the short side, and that would be over here by the windows and stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So there are doors over on that side, but
Let's just do a few more questions here, and that'll wrap it up for the bag. Where is your favorite place to get food around there?
Man, that's a tough one. I think there's a like a taco shop. I can't, to be honest with you, I don't even remember the name of it. One of the guys goes to get them. I just give him money.
Give me food. No.
But
Hey,
no,
that's a good spot.
there's an Italian restaurant that makes pretty good pizza and stuff like that called La Familia. That one's pretty good.
that's what we have above our track. Like literally above our track is an Italian restaurant. We always get pizza from there.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish we had options.
We have a ton of options, but I think the closest thing is Sonic. Yeah. I just can't even eat it anymore.
You go there for the drinks. That's about it. Like everything else that's like food wise, I'm not about Sonic.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Okay, favorite brand of paint?
Are we talking for like RC or just in general?
For RC.
For home building.
Well, I mean,
Just kidding.
Bear paint.
I like the Createx line.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's Lance's brand as well.
Nice.
Billy Lim. Is it Billy Lim? Lim? Anyways, he's saying greetings.
Saying what?
Oh, greetings.
He's just reading chat.
Yeah, I'm just reading
I
chat.
haven't heard of that one.
I have a lot of duplicate questions in here. Okay. Oh, this one's good. Okay. So, what is your favorite motor position on a chassis?
Man, That's I mean, I like it high over the axle, but I also like. I mean, if you've seen the GRK setup, it's low and like tight to the chassis. So, I also I have an LTS and I really enjoy that too. So the weight shift is fun, but I'd say you know what, I'm kind of neutral on it really. I just don't want it behind the shock tower.
You know, that is a true hobby shop owner answer. Like 100%.
No,
Yeah,
I mean, I've got too many different, like, I've driven too many different chassis, and if you set the chassis up correctly, it doesn't really, I guess I find a spot where I like it on that particular chassis, you know?
Yeah, totally.
100%.
Yeah,
Except for front motor.
we could understand, like, give him a flyby of your chassis case, like where you keep all your cars. Like, he has so many.
While we're walking over there, Billy's asking, what is the spec tire there?
LF3.
Okay.
Yeah, LF3, Comp 3.
That makes sense.
There's MD1.
Ooh, is that pegboard that I see?
Of course. There's the GRK4.
Like it just keeps on getting more and more and more. Oh, you've got one of the fancy carrying cases.
Yeah, I wanted to shout out Chris Hawkins, raw component, local Tandem RC guy.
And who can name the anime girl?
Who can name the chassis?
There's so many flashing lights going on. Hold on, back up just a bit. Yeah, I can't tell from this side.
What is it?
That is a Express Grip Zero.
Oh,
Jeez.
of course.
So there we go. There's a whole level. That's the level that Ron is on. I've never even heard of that before.
I mean, Express is pretty well known for their on-road stuff.
Yep. So they made this chassis, I think it was like 16, 17. It's pretty cool. It's got carbon fiber arms on it. On the top deck, there's an aluminum plate and a brass plate. They both slide back and forth. Pretty much everything on the car is aluminum or carbon fiber. They were way ahead of their time. Yeah, it did. I don't think it really sold very well, and I don't think they sold very many units. But I just happened to hold on to one, and then I like it. It's fun.
Well, I mean, it's just because of Across the Seas, right? Like, we don't hear Express over here, like, next to nothing.
So I got started kind of back, I think it was around 19, and when in 19, like, there wasn't very many to choose from, you know? So I was just kind of online one day digging, and I found this thing, and I was like, that looks pretty cool. So I tried it, but I struggled with it when I first got it. I didn't know anything about active tow or any of that kind of stuff, so it was pretty tough. But,
See, that's hilarious, because that was my same sentiment about the MST FXX. Like, just getting into that ballpark, getting into that market. Like, this looks absolutely fantastic. Front motor, rear-wheel drive, has the gyro, has all the things.
Makes sense, yeah.
$600 down the drain. Thought I made the biggest mistake of my life in RC.
Until they came out with that beast mode conversion for it. And...
Oh, no. This was when they first launched.
Oh, I got you.
Like right when rear-wheel drive had just touched, like, dipped the toe into the market.
I'm pretty sure it was Jordan from out there in Colorado that kind of got that. I think he was one of the first guys to get that beast mode thing and to make that FXX really perform.
Yes, yeah. Like, even with the Yusakani parts, the FXX was still not I still don't put it in a good position as a competitive chassis. It's a fun chassis to play around with, but not necessarily able to keep up with a lot of the things that are out there now. Datsun.
Yeah, buddy.
That's kind of like a team or club color scheme you guys have on that?
Sort of. Yeah, it was like a it was a paint job from an AI artist that I had seen on Instagram, and a few of us decided we were going to give it a shot. So I took a run at it and came out with 3 of them, and it turned out pretty good. But it was a pain. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember seeing a few guys out there with that.
Yeah.
Let's switch up the gears here. Let's go ahead and get into the whole shop owner aspect of this, Logan.
Yeah, so I do have a bunch of questions lined up.
I will answer most of them.
Yeah. Yeah. How much money do you make? No, just kidding. We kind of covered this, but I would like to go a little more into it of like how you got into RC drifting. I think you mentioned, and it seems apparent that you were definitely into RC stuff before that. So were you into like IRL drift, or did you just come across it as an RC thing, or how did you get into it?
I mean, I guess just like any guy, you know, I've always liked kind of going sideways and whatever. I tried to drive on the street or snow or dirt or whatever. So I always thought that was fun. And I think every RC car I've ever had, whether it was an on-road car or an off-road car, I wanted to try and get it sideways. I didn't really know much about actual, you know, competition drifting or anything when I started this. I just knew I liked sliding sideways. So
Hell yeah.
that's kind of what drew me to it. You know, I've done off-road, done on-road, done crawling, done all the, you know, just all the different stuff. But when I got into this, it was just fun. Like, guys were having fun. So it wasn't the same old, you know, buy the biggest motor, buy the biggest battery, you know, buy the most expensive stuff to be the best. It was learn how to drive and get doors and get as close as you can, and, you know, stay deep in the walls and fill the zones. You know, it was a challenge. It was fun. Yeah. And then the other guy behind you was trying to do the same thing. So it was cool. You know, it was just different. I just was watching videos one day and came across it, and that's kind of how it all started.
Awesome. That's cool, because I definitely feel the same way of like, it definitely is not about the equipment that you're using, and it's just, you know, get what you can or get what you like and figure that thing out, and most people will be able to, you know, figure something out with whatever they have and make it do what it needs to do. It's pretty cool in that way.
Coming from the guy that now drives an MD2.
Yeah, just buy the most expensive thing ever, obviously. So
I actually got to drive one the other day, an MD2.
Oh, cool. Nice. What did you think?
I liked it. I mean, I'm kind of partial to my MD1, but
yeah, no, you have an MD1, so
yeah, I mean, I like it. It's a great car. To be honest, like when I go out, you know, I love driving the GRK, but if I have to, if I'm going to be running, you know, back in a train somewhere, I like the MD1 just because it's so smooth on and off.
I can tell you, if I could choose between my YD2Z wagon and my current MD2 to drive with someone like Cody, probably choose the MD2 at this point.
Yeah, so Cody's got a couple of fantasies now.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously we go from, so you said you got into RC drifting in like 2019?
Yeah, I think it was about that.
Yeah. So I would say that's a pretty short time period to go from getting into a sport to buying a track. So how do we get there? Or, you know, taking over a track.
So when I got into this, I was going to a carpet track, and let me see. So there was a couple of guys, Ben and Eddie, from Drift Dreams. They're really good guys. They made it real fun, They just made it fun. So I got into it. We had a really small track. I mean, it was like, I think it was like 20 by like maybe 12 or 15, something like that.
Tiny.
And it was carpet. So we got, we were working with that, and one day I just asked him, I'm like, why don't we just like rip this carpet out and make a better surface and make it bigger? And they looked at me like I was crazy. So I talked to the owner of the place, and I'm like, hey man, what do you think? And he's like, sure, go for it. I'm not doing anything and I'm not paying for anything. So I talked to those guys, and I'm like, well, you think everybody'd want to pitch in and help out? And so we got a bunch of guys together and made a plan, and we just went at it. I got a construction background, so it was, let's do it, right? So we did that. Everything went well, and I found myself just like, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to get back there, and I wanted to make it better, and I wanted to make it, everything it could be. Well, then COVID hit, and kind of it took it down. The mall that we were in closed, and couldn't get to the track anymore. When that happened, we were all just kind of like stuck. We couldn't really do anything. And then right about that time is when this place had opened. So, we were still thinking at that time really that maybe it was going to work. Maybe we were going to be able to get back in, and then they decided to just close the mall forever. So that kind of took that away.
Yeah. Which mall was that?
That would have been, what the hell was that anyway? Metro Center.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's my backyard.
Okay. Yeah, it was Metro Center Mall. Anyway, they closed it. We didn't go, so we were out of a track. These guys started up, so kind of started supporting them, and really kind of enjoyed myself. I kind of kept talking to the guys that own the place, and I'm like, if you could go bigger, get a lot more people out here, and just kind of like wanted to see it succeed. And fast forward a couple of years and a whole bunch of life events, and I found myself in a place where the company that I had worked for almost 17, 18 years got bought out, and I found myself like didn't really want to do that anymore. So
yeah,
the availability of this came up. Nothing's really made me happy as far as work.
Yeah.
Like managing a hobby store like I did when I was younger. So I said, hey, let's give it a shot.
Hell yeah.
I love it. I like to see everybody, how happy everybody gets, around it. It's just fun. And so, yeah. So that's kind of how I ended up. It just kind of happened. My wife told me, she's like, you got to do it. You just got to do it. And I'm like, all right.
That's awesome.
So,
I think, having been down there, I, never got to see what it was before, but I think you definitely found your place. It was an excellent place to come and visit.
It was
track
pretty
is awesome.
different. Like where I'm standing right now, looking this way, this was kind of pit tables. The track never came past that pole right there.
Mhm.
And it kind of stayed actually this side of that wall over there by the bodies. It really kind of didn't venture past that area, so we enlarged it by, I guess, square footage wise, it's at least 200, 250 square feet, something like that. They never used these rooms. We made it into like, all pit spaces.
Yep.
So we've got like an actual, for a while there, we were actually, anybody that showed up, if they wanted to do a monthly membership, it was kind of a first come, first serve. They could go ahead and have a pit space in that room and just keep it, put a piece of tape on it and call it theirs for the month. the track used to come back here a little ways, probably stopped right about here. And then there was like a crawler course here at the back for 24 scale stuff, but it just didn't really get used all that much. So,
Yeah.
when
Yeah, I
I
mean,
came on,
I imagine crawlers in Arizona, you can go outside a lot of the time.
yeah, exactly. No, there's tons of places to go crawling. But so yeah, man, that's just kind of it was different before, and then the surface used to be this year. It's like they had the concrete ground to where it was,
Mhm.
it was smooth,
Yep.
but it wasn't like polished.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what grit they went to, but then they went ahead and they put it's a really good like sealer,
Mhm.
like a 2-part epoxy type sealer. It's a little different than regular epoxy. Like it didn't peel or crack or come up anything like that. It was more, it's really on there, but it would actually come off on the tires. So the
Yeah.
tires would start to get a coating on it, and
Yeah.
once you
Yep.
got that coating on your tires, it would make it really slick.
Yeah.
Which kind of killed some of the ability to get good momentum and stuff for sliding.
Yep. Totally.
Uh,
Cool. That's awesome story. I mean, that's kind of, I think about a path like that a lot for myself. So it's really cool to hear, how you went through all that. Oh, we lost DJ.
Yeah, DJ is gonna try to rejoin us. He's having some internet issues.
All good. So moving on a little bit, I wanted to ask, I think this is a good insight, but like, what would you say are the biggest challenges you face, just owning a drift shop?
So I mean, out of the gate, you're putting up, you're fronting quite a bit
Yep.
just to get everything going.
Yep.
And then
And you also operate like a very well stocked store as well, so
I
that's
try.
part of it for sure.
Yeah. So that is another challenge. The previous owner, Shane, he did a really good job of getting set up with like a lot of I don't want to call them exclusive, but like top line and a lot of the overseas companies that you don't really see at actual distributors. So you're dealing direct, and there's quite a few challenges with that. But
Yeah, language, I would imagine, is one of them.
well, you know what? Believe it or not, it's weird. You don't even really feel it because you're doing most of it through email. You
Okay.
can tell that the conversation is different, but they're more than willing to try and help. To be
totally.
able to get you taken care of. Because I mean, I don't know what it's like over there, but I just try to get what I can, but everything's really expensive, and then the shipping is. So you're just trying to stay, you just got to try and stay ahead of that game, and it's pretty tough.
Yep.
Other than that, that's the biggest thing is, you don't want to fail. You don't want to fail for the group.
Mm-hmm.
So you try and kind of do this and keep a good stock, so everybody can actually get what they want and what they need. So it's a challenge for sure.
Yeah. So like one of the things that we've been kind of wrestling with at our track is getting people to come out regularly. So like at our track at PDX, we kind of have basically 3 days where there's like at least some incentive to come, which is we have like a Tandem Tuesday, which is like a little mini comp, and then we have Drift to Midnight on Fridays, which is probably our biggest day, and then we have like Sunday where it's kind of like the core group comes out and when we do a lot of driving. So how many days a week do you guys have like a good population of drivers, and what have you done, or what are your thoughts on like trying to keep that more consistent, I would say? Because I know you have days where I've experienced it, you know, 2 or 3 guys are going to show up, right?
Yep. So what I increased a lot of the hours when I bought this place, and you know, I wanted to make it more available, because there's a lot of guys that work schedules where they can't come on weekends.
Yep.
Mhm.
So and there's a lot of guys, believe it or not, that actually work during the night, so they can only come during the day. So kind of the happy medium there was to start at, you know, like noon, and at least give guys, you know, a few hours to come out and have some fun, that work nights. And then with everybody else, you know, there was already like a schedule that everybody was used to. So that being said, like Wednesdays was a big night here, and then like Friday was kind of a decent night. Wednesdays was usually like the main one, but now, you know, I think the draw has just been the idea that we're having fun. You know, we're a good group of people. We're willing to work with new people. We're teaching people how to drive, how to work on their cars. We're, you know, we got tunes. You know, we got
Yeah.
fun. You know, we're just.
Do you,
It's
still
just
have-
cool. It's a cool vibe, you know, just like a
do you
lot
still
of really
offer
good
rentals?
people. What's that?
Do you still have the rental
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of situation? Yeah.
Yep, we got 3 rentals, 3 different grades technically. We've got one that's like, you know, they're ready to run, just so people can feel they're ready to run. We've got one that's got some pretty good electronics in it. And then
Yeah.
I've even got an MD1. If it's somebody that's really serious, I'll
Yeah.
let them drive an MD1
Yeah.
and rent them that.
That's
Just-
awesome.
Yeah.
And I think
it's pretty cool.
when I was down there, you did a really cool thing where you do have a time limit on the rental situation, so
Yeah.
that it doesn't shut down your whole day, basically.
Yeah, so there's certain nights that you know, if we got like 20 people out here on track and stuff, I'm not gonna throw a couple of guys that have never run a drift, you know, an RC drift car before out here, just
Yep.
because it's just I mean, it's happened. I'm not gonna say I'll never do it. I did it, and that's what kind of made me set that rule, was because it was
Yep.
pretty rough, and I felt
Yep.
pretty bad. So yeah, no, we try and kind of limit that exposure, just so we don't end up with like a bunch of broken $2,000 cars out here.
Yep, I think that's very smart. Definitely improve that policy. Kind of improved my experience, because when I was down there on a Wednesday, you did have some rentals going, and I noticed real quick that the track kind of emptied a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's.
But yeah, you know, you had your policy in place, and it worked out, and we all got back to driving, so that was good.
It's yeah, it's you know, you have to somewhat cater to new people,
Yeah, of course.
and sort of work with them,
Yep.
just because we want it to grow, right? We gotta.
Yep.
You know, in order to have multiple tracks, we gotta have a lot of people.
Yep.
Be able to support them all, right? So.
Yeah, I think, you know, Phoenix is a great place for that. There's like 5 million people in the area. It's a great spawning ground, I would say, for the sport. And yeah, you're gonna have to. It's kind of something we've been talking about down here, or up here, I should say. You know, dealing with the track. To kind of skip ahead a little bit, but like, this is something that you and I talked about a little bit, but like, you guys have, I notice, pretty narrow, not narrow in a general sense, but narrow if you're a beginner, lanes on your track, and you and I talked about that, of being like, it kind of just forces you to be better, right? So
That's
you talk
exactly
about your track design and what your kind of philosophy is on that.
I mean, I got to give Steve props for that. But he told me early on, when we started that track at Metro Center, I think our lanes were like pushing, 4.5 feet, 5 feet. I mean, it was like a super highway.
Yeah.
And not only did we lose quite a bit of space, but it made us all lazy. We just hammer down and slide wherever. Obviously, you're still trying to get the wall, but yeah, the newer people that had never done it before, they showed up, and it's like, everybody's just driving all over the place. So it wasn't.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, Steve had told me that early on when they started, they had shrunk their lanes pretty quickly, and the driving just got like good fast. So
Yep.
It made sense to me, and it does work.
Yep.
As far as design on the track goes, I don't know. I'm a pretty creative guy, so I just figure out ways to make it fun, and I've always been a big fan of doing the trains. So if it doesn't flow, it doesn't go.
Yep. Yeah, and we talked a little bit about some of your ideas for including some elevation changes and stuff like that, and the modular concept of the track where you can add things here and there that change it up.
Yep, that is a plan. I'm not gonna give too much of that away, but I will say that when we're done with this design, we're gonna move to a street layout, and it'll be it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Right on. So yeah, that kind of ties into one of my questions. Is like, having talked to you, I know you think about everything, the whole situation, the whole community you've built down there. So like, I know you have an answer for this, but like, what's your long-term vision for what Tandem RC is? Like, what do you want to be in the future?
I mean, I'd love to have people from Japan wanting to come here.
Yeah.
I would love to see, or wherever, I've heard that over in like the, England and places like that there's a lot of drifting and stuff that, I'd love for those people to want to come here and just, just bigger, better, more.
Yep.
I'd kind of like to see a second track somewhere. It's just a matter of trying to get my arms around this one. I mean, I'm fairly new to being a business / track owner, so I got a lot to learn. I've got a lot of stuff to do, and there's a handful for sure.
Yeah.
Hey Logan, I'm gonna jump in for a second here.
Yeah.
There's some questions from chat here.
All right.
How much is the track fee for a day at Tandem RC?
$15 for a day if you've got a car, and then we charge $15 an hour and $20 an hour for the rentals, depending on which grade of rental it is.
Okay. And how often are your track changes? Because this one's pretty new, so.
Yeah, so my plan currently is to go probably 3 to 4 months before I change it. It's a pretty good endeavor when you go to change the tracks, and definitely even more so when you're changing the scene. In other words, we're going to go from what I would consider more of a race type track to like a city and a rural type track.
Yep.
So, so I figure, if the guys love it and they want to keep it, I'm gonna put it out to them first. I'm not just gonna change it and tell them, nope, you can't drive this anymore. If everybody loves it and wants to keep it for another month, then that's what we'll do.
So you're talking city style, like blocks and like actual multiple ways that you can go, right?
Yep.
That'll be interesting. Kind of like the jet boat races that happen. Like, if you're in a competition, you got to remember your route.
Well, so I figure for the competitions, it'll be obviously
Well, Mark.
marked out.
Yeah, it'll work out pretty well, and then we'll probably throw different stripes on the road. So it's not just white stripes. There might be some red stripes or whatever, so you can't get the line, so to speak.
It'll be like the like red arrow things from Need for Speed when
There
you're
you go.
going outside.
Yeah,
That'll be sick.
awesome.
So
I like we use the style X's even for practice.
mhm.
So, in between your zones for the comp, we try to put the line down anyway, so it'll be pretty much there.
We've got a nosy person in chat here.
I can answer this question. I can't give a ballpark, but I will tell you, rent in Phoenix or in Mesa in this case is a lot lower than it is out where we live. In general.
Not just that though. It's a lot cheaper in other states just to run a business than Oregon.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Oregon sucks to run a business. Like with all the taxes, all the dumb stuff that they charge. That's why all the big retail stores, like all the wholesalers, all the online shops are not here.
Yeah. What's your square footage in that shop though, Ron?
No, we're around 3,500, 3,600.
Yeah.
It's right on the edge, man. I'd like another couple thousand square feet for sure.
Do you think that's doable? Like financially?
That verdict's still out on that.
Yeah. We're still growing. We're still growing. There, you know what? I think you're in a great market for it. Like a lot of people in Phoenix are into drifting. There's 5 million people in the area. Probably make it happen.
It's, there's a lot of there's so many variables involved. It's different. It's different when you're on this side of it for sure. I took for granted when I was just sliding here, what it takes out of pocket to make things happen. But I mean,
fair enough.
You just have to keep that all in mind when you're doing something like this. I just wanted to keep things going so everybody had a place to go and have fun.
Yeah, that's what I remember you telling me, something along those lines of like, this is kind of for the love of the game situation and not a get rich quick situation.
Yeah, no, it's far from that. You know what, man? I got to a point where I could I still got bills, but I'm at that point where in my life where I could use stuff that I made to get in, and then then it's a matter of trying to just now it's a matter of trying to keep up, and like I said, it's still too early. I've only been here 4 months now, so it's still a little early to be throwing up the win flag.
Yeah.
I mean,
For
it
sure.
sounds like the typical hustle, like the self-proprietary hustle. Like that's all that it sounds like to me, which is always not an easy thing.
Well,
But-
so there's another aspect to the whole thing, being the niche that it is.
Mhm.
There's quite a few hobby stores here out in the Arizona area, and I don't deal in their stuff.
Yep.
So I don't I'm not trying to sell all the bashers and crawlers and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah, that area obviously has a huge like off-road scene.
Yep. But in turn, at least twice, 3 times a week, people come in and say, so and so sent me here from this store. So, respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, obviously Phoenix has been pretty big in the off-road racing world for a while, and they just had worlds down there. And
Is it Silver Dollar that's down there, or is it
no,
what's the big
like
raceway?
Oh,
Fear
the
Farm,
hobby action.
Hobby Action. Yeah, Hobby Action just had worlds this year, and then Fear Farm is like the other big
That's
8
right.
scale track. And then there
Yeah,
used to be
those
back in the day Scottsdale. I don't know if that's still down there or what they're doing, but the Cactus Classic was a big race.
Yeah, no, that was all part of that was kind of part of what Hobby Action was doing.
Okay.
I think, like, I don't know the whole story, but I do know that kind of some of the owners that were involved in that were part of that. It was
Yeah.
kind of a big deal. So,
Yeah.
but I do know that those guys, when I took over and everything, they've actually made their way over here to help.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they're real supportive. So good stuff.
So I think I want to transition this interview a little bit into some of the things that we're dealing with at our track now, which is we just started like what I would call a warm-up competition series to kind of give us some practice for running what will be our Super G series. So, and I know you've run some comps down there, and I know you've been a part of a lot of competition. I've heard a couple references to you winning a Drift King something or other. What was that about?
Yeah, 2020, the first year of the Super G series, I took the Arizona Regional. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty good credential to have. So, I think the biggest problem that we're facing right now is judges. So if you were to hold a competition at your track, what would your judging setup be in terms of, like, are judges, do you have people that can judge and not compete, or do you have a situation where people are competing and judging, or how many judges do you have? What is all that about?
So, from what I've seen, what works best is having at least 3, if not 4, people that are not competing and people that are more in tune with drifting in general and what they're actually looking for. Sometimes it turns into just kind of staring at the boxes, and it's like, oh, he went through the box or he didn't go through the box, but there's so much more to it.
Yeah,
watching what the cars
100%.
are doing, and where somebody straightened out, or somebody was scrubbing angle, or just doing, or
somebody can get in
halfway.
every single zone and just be adjusting the whole time.
Yep. So it's like there's so many different approaches to it and different ways to look at it. I know that last comp series that the old owners had done from here at Tandems, they were using a different set of rules. It was a Rev D set of rules. It had some good points and some bad points compared to the current SDC rules that we were all kind of used to. I think SDC is a little more cut and dry, but leaves some area for disappointment, I guess is a good way to put it, because you feel like you touched that wall but you didn't hit that wall, right? Your car weighed 1,300 grams loaded and it moved a little bit, but the other guy that bumped it, his car didn't move because it weighed 1,600 grams, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's an interesting point for sure.
So what constitutes a crash is kind of tough to judge, and I understand why people judge it the way they do, but
yeah,
I also feel like you should be able to touch things, and not be, executed.
Yep.
So, but then you run into something completely different. Whereas with that Rev D set of rules that we were using, was, you either got the points or you didn't get the points. So the box was a certain size. It had a certain angle. If you hit the box all the way, you got the points. If you didn't hit the box, you didn't get the points. If you went over the X for style, you got the points. If you didn't hit the X, you didn't get the points. So, I mean, there was like what happened is when you started doing your qualifiers, too many people were too close. And then there had to be a whole nother set of rules on how you decided which people were the top qualifiers and where they actually placed, because now you got 10 guys with the same number.
Yep.
So it's just difficult,
Yeah, it is definitely hard.
Hey guys,
as we learned.
wrap it up.
It's closing time.
Shut her down. So, before we lose you, I know you're about ready to close up shop and head home. I wanted to ask you about, in your ideal world, what would be your plan for a track layout in regards to a competition? So say you have a competition coming up, in what would be your ideal situation for, like, what happens with the track? Would you change it right before? Would you change it and then add zones, or what would you what would you do in an ideal world with the space that you have available?
I think you just nailed it. Both of those. You're gonna change it as it happens, when it happens. I got you, baby. The day of, everybody's changing.
Yeah.
You don't kind of let on to it until it's actually time. So, let them practice the layout that they've been practicing, and then pull a couple of barriers and do what you got to do. Make it fun.
So you're talking about, like, kind of when they show up the day of the comp, say like at 10 a.m., it's a layout that they've never experienced before.
Yep. No. When they show up at 10 a.m., the layout's there, and I'd like to see no zones. Just go ahead and put some lines out, some angle lines. Let everybody practice angles, stay against the walls, do what they're supposed to do, and then once you're ready, then you go ahead and pull some barriers. You have a track layout that you've already got a layout for, that you got something.
Wow.
And then you go ahead and put the layout. Obviously you got to make it to where it's not going to take 4 hours, but
interesting. So you're talking about, like, changing the whole track, like, the day of the comp.
Absolutely.
All right.
I like to make it interesting.
Yeah, I could tell. I think I have an issue with the time crunch for that, but you know what? I'm all for it. So interesting.
I think he muted
we lost
himself.
Audio. Oh no. Ron, we can't hear
you, Ron. Still can't hear you.
Is there a mute or
Yeah, I think there is.
There we go. Oh, nope.
Tap to mute. Oh, we lost him.
There you go. Well, this has been a great interview so far. I'm enjoying it.
Except we just lost him. It's like,
yeah,
cut
that
a
part,
man loose.
Is what it is. Hey, it's 10 o'clock. Track's closed for him.
Well, we'll see if we get him back.
Yep.
DJ, you dead?
No, I'm still here.
Are you sure? Momo with the mean chat.
Shut up. I'm friends with this guy.
Logan, do you want to check and see? And I'm doing all sorts of weird stuff on. You want to just, like, text him and see if he's out?
I doubt it. I'll text him though.
Because if he was planning on leaving at 10 anyway, then I wouldn't be surprised. In the meantime, let me get this overlay back into normal. Hi guys. How's it going, guys? My name is Adam, guys. Yo, guys. Okay, I guess while we're at a pause here, DJ looks like he's zoned out. Man,
I mean, I was just working on my car.
he was working on shocks. Out of all things, he was working on shocks. And I've got
Yeah, my
So
shocks keep
two
leaking.
Logans.
Making
Hold
me
on.
mad.
DJ, one of our locals,
That's me.
Momo, this guy. Can we ban him from chat? One of our well, actually a Seattle local, Blaze. I don't know if you guys have met Blaze before, but he also was driving an MST and had the exact same grenading of the transmission as you did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Blaze, yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't driven with him yet, but, actually, no, it was last week.
All
He
I
was-
got was more of like the South Park episode. If you don't pizza pie when you French fry, you're gonna have a bad day.
If you drive an MST with the CLST, you're gonna have a bad day.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand. Like, I don't see it. Well, other than the fact that the CLSD wasn't like actually meant for it, right? I don't see why it would grenade itself like that. Unless there is something to do with like mesh problems, which clearly there is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When I put it together, it seemed really smooth, and like the gear mesh, seemed fine. But I think it's just the plastic that they use. It's just like a weaker plastic than most. And
Is it the gear that failed, or is it like the shaft having too much tolerance that failed? That failed the gear.
I mean, the gears failed out on me. Yeah, I had
Yeah,
a
it's ripped the teeth off.
I still
Yeah.
think if you would have changed it to 3 gear and just try that out, that would have been something fun for you to try.
Hey, but three
I mean,
gear
I can-
sucks.
You
I can go
drove
back.
a ZX. That's a 3 gear, Logan.
I have a Z. It has a 3 gear. I like the MD2 way more with 4 gear. It goes the correct direction of the torque. That's how it's supposed to be.
I mean, so does... yeah, anyway. Anyway. But yeah. You have the plastic green gear on it now, so I don't think you'll run into too much problem with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's pretty much, plastic CLSD. Then it goes to a metal gear that was the replacement one. Then a plastic, and then to another metal, like where the spur gear would go onto, like the main shaft.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah,
plastic
that's-
metal, plastic
Yeah.
metal.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, so pretty soon here, we're going to go to Roast My Radio. So if you haven't already done so, if you want to be a part of this,
radios.
post a picture of your radio
I really
in the
wish-
Discord.
I really wish James posted his. I don't see it. That was the one I could roast the most. But I'm gonna take a little break and I'll be right back.
You don't want the Google Meet.
What happened?
Oh, I almost pasted the Google Meet link into chat.
Don't do that again.
What do you mean again?
I think you did that last week.
No one joined randomly, so I don't think it did. Okay, shim the CLSD, maybe. I don't know how I don't know, because like the shimming wouldn't cause that either. I don't think it's side to side play. Anyway, what?
Yeah, the only thing that I would have concerns on is just like the adapter piece that they made for the MST 2.5 transmission boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they made it around the plastic, which it wouldn't make no sense why it wouldn't work in the aluminum. So I bought it, but I had to like sand down around the whole entire edge of the adapter piece just to get it pressed into place.
So you made it fit. Like,
Yeah.
and that,
Yep.
yeah, that's fine. That's good. That is good. Okay. U upper is a win. Oh yeah, sorry. Lance got his new shipment of Midnight Shark stuff, or Midnight Designs chassis stuff. So if you're interested, Midnight Designs, our guy Lance designs and has for sale a flex chassis design, now including a high weight shift battery mount, also, or as an option, as an available option, and it pretty much fits anything YD2, including Shark. And yeah, it's a pretty cool chassis. A lot of our guys over in PDX are running it right now. I'm running the top half of the chassis with our spec bottom. Ben, what do you mean? I roast my radio? I can just feel the pictures that Momo's gonna post, and it's going to be of like a stick radio, like a Futaba stick radio. DJ, you're sideways.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know. My phone just, I was trying to get to chat, but let's not do that.
Let's not do that. Okay, so let me switch over cameras here. Oh, actually, before we do that, speaking of which, because we haven't even covered calendar dates yet, so, Tandem Tuesdays, as usual, first annual ProTech RC PDX Drift Series presented by A-Main Hobbies. The next series event is actually on, not until January, but January 21st. We've got some, it sounds like we've got some Canada guys coming down on January 20th as well.
Yep.
So there was the decision that the shop is, or the track is not going to close on the 20th.
Nope.
In fact, they are going to stay open for those who want to go and play. Which will be
Normal
cool.
hours on Saturday.
Yeah, it'll give it a little bit more time for people that are traveling.
Yep.
The people that are traveling, from what I heard, is a 6-hour road trip for them. I think one way. So no easy driving for them.
Mm-mm. And then we'll, for the comp, we'll just put in the track after hours, and hopefully 9 a.m., 10 a.m., I guess, actually on Sunday, everybody will be
Yep.
happy.
Mm-hmm. Non-member pricing is $20, and that's including food, supposedly. Member pricing is $10, and to do spec tires includes DRCs, DRPs, and RevD ASO1s. Is that still the case?
Yep.
Logan. Okay.
Same deal. Yeah,
All
it'll
right.
be the same tires the whole series.
Perfect. Okay. April 12th to the 14th is the Northwest Model and Hobby Expo in Monroe, Washington. That is the bee's knees if it's RC drifting, or anything RC if you're in to RC. Pretty much, if you don't go, you're missing out, because it is a great event for everyone to come up and show and play, literally play with toy cars and all things RC. Hey DJ, are you actually gonna take your buggy up there too? Do some off-road racing?
Haha. Yeah, I'm thinking about that one now. I'm actually surprised Kevin hasn't mentioned anything about it, but I know it's not that close enough yet. But
I mean, you are a big buggy guy.
yeah, I'll probably end up throwing down for PDX. I know it is a little rival thing that they do like that weekend, so may as well go and support the track, and in between heats, because it's going to be it's a big race. So in between heats, I can probably try to bounce over to drift.
So you are just gonna be focusing on racing up there?
I don't know yet. I don't know. Usually on those little vacation stuff things, I'll try to focus on the one thing. But if Kevin talks me into it, maybe. But I have a feeling there'll be I don't know what the competition looks like. So if there's like a whole like track fee,
I think there is
thing going on.
I think there is, and it's a pre-registration, I believe. So just keep your eyes out on that.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going for, like that whole registration stuff. So I don't know, but it seems pretty cool. I've always checked it out.
It is in a different building. For the past few years, it's been in a bit different building.
Yeah, every time I go up, because I've been to 2 of them now, I always go and check it out.
Gotcha. Okay.
I want to add one event that I can only say is going to be late summer, but I am working with Kevin to do like a Matsuri type deal that is, centered around just fun and hanging out. But yeah, that'll be late summer. I can't put a more specific date on it yet, but working on it. Just keep it in mind is all I ask.
Keep it in mind. All right. So, if you see Ron, if you're in Ron's territory, go see him. Go visit Tandem RC. I'm sure I'll end up doing that someday, maybe.
Yeah, RC Drift Week, baby.
Yeah,
RC Drift Week.
I'm hoping that I get to go back over there. I think in March is usually when I go.
Hell
maybe
yeah.
April.
That's for your company conference or whatever it is?
No.
No?
So actually my dad's a pretty big baseball guy, so
Okay.
he does spring
Makes
training.
sense. Yeah,
so,
that makes sense.
Yeah, may as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm fortunate to have family down there, so yeah, I'll be going back in next Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest problem. I have absolutely no reason to go there.
You do though, Tandem. Oh, and I'm also officially Ron got busy, so I
Gotcha.
won't be getting Ron back.
Okay, that's okay.
Which is fine because we had a great interview, I think.
So yes, if you're there, hit him up. Tell him you're from Oregon, or
yeah, go down
something.
there. Tell him from wherever you're at. I mean, as you could tell, he's an awesome dude. He's always down to hang out, talk. I mean, I was down there for 2 days, and most of that time was spent just me and Ron in the shop. We hung out, we chatted. I mean, his track is awesome. He made some big investments right off the bat, from what I understand. I mean, obviously with the P-Tile,
Yeah.
that's a big deal, and he's a cool dude. It's a great track, as a lot of people in the community know. I think a lot of Tech 1 drivers are housed there, and yeah, cool spot.
Okay, so let's dig in. We're going to roast my rig, but radio edition.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm itching to just roast some jabronis.
Jabronis. Okay, so first up, we'll do these and then we'll kind of circle back around. There's some pretty cool cars and chassis that are up there. But Mile High hitting it off first, which is kind of odd. I thought we had other... No, this was his idea. Okay, sorry. This was his idea. So, we've got a Radio Master MT12, I believe is what it is. So,
Oh, we're going straight to radios.
yeah.
Okay.
I
All right.
just said that.
All right.
So I don't know if there's anything to roast. Oh wait. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. The fact that this is I believe this is the 4-in-1 module, so it has to have that extra module that's sticking out on the top.
What is that thing, bro? Are we like trying to? Is that like a hurricane meter or like? Jesus.
So wait, he's saying where all of your 3-mile range. So wait, is this the ELRS unit or is this the 4-in-1? The extra module is the ELRS. Okay, that's
Okay.
why.
Yeah, we need all that range for the extra 40 feet we're gonna get.
But how many of you can also say that their receivers have ceramic antennas on it? Not me.
Yeah, when you can't even see your car.
Hey, that's what FPV's for, man. Like, no joke. I don't know. Like, it's a style thing. And for those of you who run like the full spec like drift wheel on their radio, good for you. I just hate the feeling of the plastic. Like,
Yeah, that looks kind of like a.
it looks fine.
Like it gets greasy.
It looks fine. I just hate the feel of plastic.
And it looks like it has a freaking Accuvance ESC on the top of that thing too.
No. it doesn't cost $200.
Well, that's true. Just saying, the looks, it's like billet, machine chamfered edges and stuff.
For $130, it feels like a plastic 7PX. I would wager 4 p.m. that might be a little bit closer, but yeah, I'm still curious of I'm curious of how this radio works, if the latency and if the feel is right. Because like for me, I moved from a Sanwa MT4S to a Futaba 4 p.m. Then struggled with the whole like stupidity of its firmware not being able to be updated, and then I rage quit and went to a 7PX. So each of those steps, I was able to feel a difference between radio speed. So I'm curious if it keeps up with it. Lance, question for Mile High: for the 4-in-1 system, what other receivers does it work with? Spectrum, Futaba? That's a good question. I think it says on their thingamabob, but I bet you he'll have an answer. And if you're on ELRS, then it's just ELRS. So, and that's all that you're going to be running.
Here's a roast. I don't know what ELRS is. Roasted.
I mean, that's a roast against yourself.
No, it's not.
It's
No,
express
it's not.
long
It's definitely
range.
not. Nope, it's not. It's definitely not a roast against me.
It is though. It's
Nope.
being out of the
Nope.
loop.
Nope. We don't need it.
Spectrum, anything FHSS, Traxxas, Kyosho, Fly Sky, etc. Just about everything. Yeah, I have the Radio Master TX16S. The number of protocols that you can bind to just with one radio is stupid. It's so cool because all you need is that one radio and you're good to go for the most part. Yeah. Made it to my wish list. Yeah. And yeah, the price is not bad at all.
I would love to I just want to support and hopefully we can make this happen, but a day where Mile High and Lance get to meet and hang out in person, that would be my dream.
That'd be your dream.
I would love it. I would love that.
Just think like of the combination of just crazy wacky chassis and like lights and like
electronics
shrouds.
knowledge and just everything. Yeah,
It'd be funny.
that'd be awesome.
Is called Radio Master for no reason. Yeah, good point. Okay.
Next one.
Yeah, next one. Here we go.
Yeah, again, so I said this in the chat, but it's like pretty difficult to roast a 10PX. Like what? What are we supposed to do here?
I mean, is it just because you have one?
I mean, what is there to roast?
The Azada wheel.
This auto wheel's pretty sick. I mean, it's expensive.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to do a better.
It feels
picture of this
good.
for you.
Oh, he's got the key ring thing, but there's no key thing on it.
Yeah, it's a roast.
You could nitpick.
He's got like a beer bottle thing on there.
Nah, I know what it is.
What
it's
is
pretty
it?
cool. It's the Super G champion O-ring thing that they gave us.
An O-ring thing,
Or
like a key ring.
yeah, a little key ring.
Like it looks like
It's
blue flame is what it looks right now.
Yeah,
Lance is
it's,
hating on the 3D handle, but I have a hard time hating on that. I think that thing's pretty cool. It is overpriced, for sure. The 3D handle, the Futaba handle.
Yeah, it doesn't show my mouse cursor. Yeah,
Sure
it is
doesn't.
cool though. I mean, anything Futaba, like direct from Futaba, is expensive. Like my
Yep.
aluminum trigger piece, the super small trigger piece, is like a $30 piece of aluminum.
Jeez.
Yep.
But that's nowhere in comparison to the $130 wheel that's attached to this radio.
Yeah, the Azada is way more than that, right?
No, that like it is only that much. I think it's not.
The I don't know. I really like that 3D carbon thing. It's pretty cool.
All right.
If Momo's roast is that we're putting condoms on radios, good luck, because I think all like 70% of the radios in this are
Yeah.
covered in silicone.
I mean, I was gonna make the condom joke myself, so
Yeah.
that's not out of the
I mean,
window here.
I'm the guy that could totally make it because I already broke my screen and I still don't have one. So
I mean, my thing about it is the fact that I can set my radio on the side, it can fall over, and I'm totally fine. The one bad thing about the 7PXR radio case specifically is that it adds way more weight. Like the 10PX silicon case is fine, but the 7PX, oh my gosh, it becomes a brick. Like you're lifting weights.
yeah, I mean, you probably just get used to it at some point.
Out here.
I know we're all weaklings in the RC game, like we don't work out at all. But yeah, I thought the 10PX was heavy at first, and just kind of gotten used to it.
So the funny thing is that the 10PX and the 7PXR are roughly about the same, like plus or minus a few grams. But the 10PX feels better in hand. They just did a little bit better of the weight management, I feel.
I really
like
mine. The way
I'm just not gonna buy one for $800.
Yeah, I mean, I went from a 3PV to a 10PX, so I could see if you have a 7, why you wouldn't go to a 10. That's fine. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think, yeah, silicone thing is not for me, especially if you have a R design anti-tip plate. Then you're fucking solid. Pardon my French.
I don't think so. I mean, like to have a kickstand for your radio, I think that's a little bit silly. It's extra protection, but man, it's a kickstand.
Well, I'm a
Like putting a
DJ
kickstand on
watched
a
me
mountain
knock
bike.
mine over day one, so
I that
used
was
that plate. I could have used that tip plate.
So this is my radio, you guys. My self roast is the fact that the radio is not the focal point of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, 7PXR with some dangly things.
Yeah, and that's gonna be my roast for almost everybody. That is too much. I can't handle. I dislike all the danglies.
Then
I'm
you
not
need
a fan.
You need to
Dangle,
go back,
dangle.
I think, 2 years and watch Ryu at RCDC. He had like a foxtail thing.
oh
Yeah,
man.
I hate it all.
Dude.
I hate
Yeah.
it all. Everything
Like
about
it
it.
was a legit foxtail that like he had to wrap around and like put over his arm. It was great. It was hilarious.
Things yeah.
I did that.
Okay, we've got Lance coming up here.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like all the danglies. I always wanted to put something on mine, but every time I drive someone's radio that has danglies, I hate it. I'm like, oh, ugh, get this off of my hand.
I think you're jealous.
Nope, I hate
You
it.
just need to learn how to dangle.
Oh, what the crap?
Can't.
The white balance on my camera. Wait, what is my
Wait.
camera doing? Oh, whatever. It'll deal. It is what it is.
So is Lance not the guy that was just making fun of? What was he making fun of?
The carbon fiber, overpriced carbon fiber handle.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So
Carbon fiber. Have you seen that? It's carbon fiber.
it's carbon fiber.
Fiber.
So what is this handle? What is that situation?
I think it's either like the RC Art one or like a it's not Yeah Racing. The Yeah Racing one is black. Alex had that one. RC Art. There you go.
RC art. So, like, you know, can you really?
He's
I
saying
can't say.
it's the fact that it doesn't cost an arm and a leg just for a little piece of carbon fiber.
Yeah, but you still probably spent as much on all the skin.
And Mile High already got it. It's a pro scale wrap. Oh, it says it right up there. Dang it. It's a pro scale wrap. I think these guys are across the country, or sorry, across the Atlantic.
Across the ocean.
Yeah, but pretty awesome stuff. Like, I've thought about grabbing something, but then that would just mean that I wouldn't be running the silicon.
I don't know if I'm on board with the whole skin thing.
I like it because it keeps the weight down, and it keeps the radio like as slim as it can be.
Yeah, it's some protection for sure.
Yeah, there's one other guy that I see at the track who has one.
James with his Sakura.
Oh, that's one of the buggy guys.
We don't care about buggies.
No, we don't care about buggy guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry I brought it up. Sorry.
Yeah,
I wish James would have posted his, and I wish James would have posted his because I think his is the one I would roast the most. But
why? Just because it's so JDM AF?
it looks like James's is like, is that your daughter's first radio?
Well,
And I hate I'm not a fan of the tennis wrap at all.
I mean, I think you're just not an anime guy.
I'm definitely not an anime guy.
That's why you don't
James-
understand.
James absolutely is an anime guy.
You don't understand, Logan.
I don't get it. I also, the tennis wrap is awful to me.
Another
I
Mile High entry, you guys.
Stock 10px grip is excellent.
So, this is crazy because it's two 10px's side by side, but one's a left-handed one.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
he's
that's
doing
a roast
some-
right there. Is for some reason you bought two 10px's.
I mean, are they both his?
Maybe they're not.
You don't know that. One's
I don't.
left-handed.
I don't, but I can only accept things as they're presented to me.
I'm kind of curious of what the little nubbins are on the back here. They're 3D printed, it looks like.
Where at?
On the back side of the correct facing 10px.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nubbins.
It's just a little stand. Those are 3D printed. They must be.
No, not the blue thing. The white nubbin thing, like where the receiver.
Oh, on the other side. Yeah, what are those?
Quick release handles for that fits in my case. So it fits in my case. Oh, I gotcha.
So you can put the handle on and off. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So that's just two guys that have very similar. They bought the same color scale reflex.
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 Are you turning more Asian than me?
Okay, buddy. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Jeez.
People get canceled from Saturday Night Live for that kind of comment.
No, never mind. Yeah, never mind. SNL's getting pretty spicy. Okay, what do we got here? I don't know why it keeps on alternating which one. Okay. This is just DJs, right? Yeah, this is just DJs.
Oh, the salmon or the tan. His is hard to
wait,
roast.
okay.
I mean,
Hold on. So where did the whole gray scheme come from you? Like where did that come from, DJ?
So I think there was a few colors that they had out of stock when I went to buy it, and that was probably the only one that was.
Yeah,
And I
but
didn't
your
wanna
car
get
is the
black.
same color.
it really is.
Oh.
How did you? What came first, the car or the silicone
Like
protector?
it just screams Adam LZ like 100%. But I don't think that's where it comes from.
No. Please tell me no.
No, so that paint that I used, I actually used it on an old on a crawler project. It was supposed to be the figure's pant color for khaki colors because the figure was supposed to be me driving, and I like to wear my khaki pants.
Yep.
And then when I got a drift body, I was all like, well, I really do want to see what this color looks like on a body, and so I ended up painting a body with that color, which I always get asked, which is Proline Mojave Sand. If anyone wants to know, that's literally all it is. It's
So
nothing creative.
So the paint came first.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, the paint's been in the arsenal of paint before. You know,
Awesome.
So
yeah.
okay,
drift
so
stuff.
you don't like dangly bits. What about an entire lanyard?
I hate it. I hate it so much.
And the tennis
lanyards.
wrap.
Is that not 2 lanyards?
It's one
No,
lanyard and a
it's
jet
one.
tag.
Oh, there's a tag. Yeah, I hate it. I can't. Every time I've grabbed someone's controller, well, this has 2 things that I hate and 1 thing that I love, which is the 2 things that I hate is anything hanging down. Just drives me crazy. But the fact that and also the tennis tape thing, I don't like at all.
Now, is it the fact that it's tennis tape, or is it the fact that it's like black?
No, just
When it's
whatever
really
it
gray.
is. Doesn't matter that it's tennis tape. Whatever it is, I don't like it because of the way it feels and just because of the way I imagine it, like getting disgusting over time.
But you
Is
can
what it
replace
is.
it.
You can replace it. The thing
And
that I
it's-
love on this is the scale reflex grip that I sold TJ.
I was gonna say shout
Oh,
out to a very
but you're
very good
biased.
guy.
You're playing favorites then, just because.
Actually, I hate those. Those are terrible now. It's all about a different. Yeah, I like the foam. I like foam over aluminum now.
I don't know.
Wait,
I
did you
do
switch
actually.
back?
Yeah,
Or I haven't noticed.
yeah. I have a foam one now. I do legit like foam better than just the aluminum.
So this is Austin's. I'm assuming it's off Austin because it's Midnight Mafia as the.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at everything. The whole thing. It's my Xbox. It's not even his Xbox. I don't know what this wallet is. The desk is scratched. I mean, the whole situation.
We're roasting radios, not desks.
It's a roast because he can't buy his own Xbox. And he has a 7PX.
Wow, totally skipping.
Jeez.
No, legitimately, that is my Xbox in that picture.
That's fine. I didn't.
That's the roast.
I think this is the Drift Ninjas wheel that came out like forever
Yeah.
ago. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And the handle. I'm not a huge fan of that handle either.
You don't like the actual JDM spec handle?
Nope.
We call
I
the other
appreciate
ones.
that his dangly bits are off to the side. That's probably better than other options. But also, like, what happened to? How do you make a wheel look like that? That thing looks like
That's
it's
seen
been
some
through
days.
some
Well,
days.
Yeah, I mean this is definitely used if it's the wheel that we're thinking that it is.
I think someone used it as an actual tire, is what it looks like.
No.
I can't imagine ever wearing off that much anodizing with just your hand.
I mean, clearly it's seen better days.
It has seen better days, for sure.
Curb rash. Yeah, it's probably curb rash. We don't know whose box it was in.
No, we don't.
Probably seen multiple boxes.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I've
gosh,
seen
what
a
in
lot
the
more
world
than a
is...
box.
What in the world?
You have
That's a
to
lot of
wait for us
futaba
to see
here.
this.
This is crazy.
Oh, there it is. What? I don't even.
What in the world?
Uh,
What are those?
What is that?
3
What are
PKs, I think
those?
is what
What?
it was.
3PK? What
I
year
don't-
is this?
I
What
don't-
year
Yeah,
are we
when did this
talking
come
about?
out?
Hold on. Oh no. Oh no.
2010.
Those
Okay.
antennas, though.
I
And
like,
those are retractables antennas, huh? So they
it
go
is
out like
not a
freaking 10
3PK.
feet.
Yeah.
It is a TK25 PKS. I don't think it's even that.
25.
75 megahertz is Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Futaba 3PKS 2.4 gigahertz fast radio system with R603FS receiver. Holy balls. If this isn't the one that I'm looking at. Maybe it is. I don't know. Discontinued online, $369.99.
So what is
Yeah.
that? What's the model?
I'm sure chat will tell us. Yeah, 3PKS.
3PKS. 3PKS. Why aren't you at your post?
But to think, this was a popular racing radio like back in its day.
Yeah, I mean, I
look-
always go back to my off-road roots of Arizona, when like it was Spectrum or nothing.
I jumped off the Spectrum bandwagon the instant that my buggies started like glitching, and you had to put a capacitor in it.
Yeah, for us it was all like everything we had was crystals, and then it was like Spectrum. You don't need crystals. Anybody can run it. And
then you found out how crap it is.
Yeah, it actually sucked.
And yet, I still flew with them until I got my Radio Master. So that's kind of funny too.
I love Momo and Lance like nerd battling in the chat. And this is a Momo picture, I imagine.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I should have posted a picture of those remotes that I have.
Yeah, you have those
Dang.
old buggies, huh?
Now I do think I've had this one before, the Magnum Sport.
Why does that look like a camera in the middle?
Because it's that old school.
Because it looks like a camera. Jesus.
Hey,
Oh, what
it's
is
even
that
got
thing?
a. It's
No,
got
what is that thing?
analog. It's an analog
is that
power
thing?
meter.
Yeah, right
What
there.
is that? What does that do?
It's a radio.
To do
That
what?
silver thing. That's a radio.
Yeah. Like I don't understand what's so hard to think about that.
What does it do? What's it for? Because surely it's not for cars.
Looks like I need to go develop some film.
We broke Adam.
Done.
I mean, I get it.
Oh, the top left and the top right, those ones look like Uzis.
Yeah.
Look like
They
some
have
bang bangs.
those you know, back in the day when we were men and your transmitter needed a roll cage.
No, it was back in the day when your radio needed 8 AA batteries just to function for like an hour, if that.
And now here we are with screens, and Elliot has spinners.
Okay. Yeah, Momo, you win. You definitely win. Win what?
Yeah.
I don't know what you win.
Yeah, I don't know what you
want?
win, but you win.
Okay,
You win something.
let's go back. We're gonna go back in time.
Yeah,
Here.
I do remember the days of like yelling out your frequency of like, "Hey, I'm on this, guys." I remember that, and like being in the pits and like your car just starts moving.
It hasn't changed. It's just I mean, like as far as that type of thing, if you're in the FPV world, that happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've
I've even noticed like when we have like crazy days, it's funny because I like
crazy.
gone from I've gone from my like old school times to now where like, you know, at the track I can for the most part turn off my radio while my car is still on and it's not a big deal. And that was a huge no-no.
You know
Maybe
who
it
can't
still
do
is.
that?
Who?
Sanwa.
Yeah. But that
So-
was was and is a huge no-no, and so like, but there has been nights where I've done that, and if there's enough people in there, my car will start like moving. It still
Mhm.
happens, absolutely.
So with Sanwa, I don't know if they've changed this or not, but I know it happened at the expo where I left one of my cars on and on the table. And before I knew it, when I was driving around the track, one of my cars just like drove off the table. I think Lance was the one that like told me what the crap am I doing.
Yeah. Yeah. There was one night at PDX in particular, I remember, where it was like, oh, Logan, your car's in the middle of the track. And I'm like, oh, my radio's not been touched for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
Yeah.
Okay, back to cars. We're gonna rip
Here we
through
go.
these because, like, we tend
This
to
is- yeah.
stay on these for a long time. This is coming from Guy.
Yeah, guy just hanging out in his backyard, just burying stuff. I appreciate it.
This reminds
Scale.
me of the time when I got asked, "Hey, do I have any spare bodies that I'm not using so we can use them as a crawling obstacle?" And I said yes. And I brought all of those bodies. And before I knew it, they didn't use them for the competition. They just used them for their own cars.
Well, this is
Yeah.
just guy's backyard. He's got who knows how much stuff he has just sitting around.
GRK life. With that silver carbon, or SSG as they call it.
Jeez. I don't even.
Now, okay, on this chassis, would you rather have a high motor or just leave the ESC there? Because the battery is on the other side. The battery probably weighs just as much as the battery. Wow, as much as the motor.
Yeah, I bet the battery weighs as much as the battery does.
Hey, you never know. You
Uh,
compare it with a ultra like low CG one.
Yeah. It's a little bit awkward for me to say since I just installed my ESC in a very not reversible way on the very rear of my car. But I think I would leave that as it is.
This has kind of been my favorite motor position, or not motor position, but ESC, like
Yeah.
up top,
Yeah.
right in front of the,
Yeah.
the shock tower.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It makes it a lot more playful.
It really
ESC's
hurts
on
me
the
to say
rear.
it.
What?
Well, I just, like I said, I installed my
Your
most
ESC.
recent electronics deal, ESC in the rear, behind the shock tower, and I was driving a similar setup before. Well, motor above the axle, ESC in front, and that might have been better. And I made my wires really short, so I'm gonna have to like, you know,
Extending is easy enough, though.
yeah, it's not ideal. But it'll be fine.
Ooh, RER. Oh my gosh, and it has the thing. Do you know what
What's
the
it?
thing is?
I don't know anything about these.
Yeah.
There's a lot of aluminum, is what I'm seeing. Like a lot, like too much.
Holy cow, that thing probably weighs a lot.
It's an RER. Of course, it's
Yeah, but
gonna,
that's not-
it's a tank for a reason.
It's not
The-
what John had.
This is the original weight shift car,
Oh, okay.
right? So
So
okay,
does the battery go on top of that little platform?
yes. So the cool thing about this,
How?
what do you mean how? It's just a shorty battery.
Oh, okay.
And then you can also throw on a full-size battery as well, up there too.
That's a long belt too. Look, oh, there's so many belts.
So it's it's two belts there, right? So just one connecting the spur gear to like the
Yep.
center drive shaft, and
Yep.
then there's the front pulley, and then it's shaft driven to the rear.
That's a
Yeah,
lot.
Lance knows.
Yeah, I bet he does. I bet he does.
Momo needs to get a check here. Yes, I do prefer purple cars. I'm not an addictive obsession about it. But Lance knows where it's at. It's this thing right here. So when you get this thing, it has no it's basically got plugs for the front drive shafts. This car originally was like an all-wheel drive car, and then they kept on modifying it until they came up with this. This thing is a turbofan, basically. So
What?
Yeah. So this is over.
What do you mean,
engineering.
turbofan?
Exactly what I mean. So the belt spins a fan, which blows on the motor.
I mean, hey, innovation. I'm thinking.
This is what makes you a real RER owner.
Okay.
That's actually kind of cool. Like,
It is so cool, and it's got a overly complicated rear end.
Is it actually effective though?
Yes, that's why he doesn't have a fan where his fan mount is.
Okay.
It's cool, but they're so limited. Like if you see it, and like if you want to get into the RER game, if you see it, you buy it. Just like
so does it just go off of like wheel speed then, and like your motor speed?
Yeah,
The fan?
just that. Yeah, that front pulley right there.
Okay. Huh.
Mile high. It literally sucks
Blowing my
air
mind.
in and pushes it to the motor and is effective. It was highly effective.
I mean, hey, if it works, it works.
Critical hit. The only downside is that the base price of this chassis is $1,000. So that's not including the rear, like the active rear end that it has on it. It doesn't include a lot of stuff on this.
So that thing's a pretty penny right there.
It is a pretty penny. They only weigh 2,000 grams too. Yeah, these things are tanks. And the way that some of the guys run them is like you'll see them all loaded up with like a battery's worth of weights just hanging off the rear. The multi-link system. Anyways, yeah, RERs are cool. They are like the original outdoor chassis, which is funny when you think about it because they are that expensive, and yet they throw them around on the asphalt.
I was gonna, yeah. Scared.
But it is an interesting contrast though, because we went from tank to like Yokomo LTS and Travis 2. So overweight to excessively lightweight chassis.
Right.
Speaking
And then
of
we'll have the
Travis's-
LP36 coming out, or LP86 coming out pretty
86.
soon.
Yep. There's some. Austin is a new Travis owner of our group.
Nice. This is a RMX VIP. So this is like originally what I had minus the IFS suspension. I never cared for it. But this one is also belt drive, I believe. I think it's
What are
belt drive,
the
but-
what are the mechanical benefits of IFS, or I don't like calling it IFS, but
right? It's independent
That.
front suspension.
whatever that is with the bell crank kind of suspension setup. Why
Push rod
is that a
suspension.
thing?
So originally from when I know about it is for profile. So like those guys running Nissan bodies, like the low Nissan bodies, you could barely get it to fit underneath the shock tower because everything is, think of it this way, everything is like come down in terms of overall height. Like shock towers were a little bit taller and a lot taller than what they are.
Yep.
What they are now. But apparently there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages and a lot of more complexity in terms of how these things work.
Yeah.
Sure.
I just don't like. It seems like it's one of those things, kind of like, I don't know, Lambo doors or something, where it's like, it's cool, it looks neat, but like, what does it actually do
Right.
versus just mounting the shock normally?
Right.
For fitment, I get it. Like, there's a purpose there, but I just don't. Yeah, like the final form kind of deal, same deal. Like, why? But why? Is
I
what I
mean,
want to know.
ride height adjustment becomes a little bit a different thing because you can leave the shock compression, like the spring compression, totally there, and yet still only adjust the length of the push rods down at the bottom. Honestly, I do wish that I still had the belt drive or the belt drive system for mine. I think that'd be a cool little thing. But I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm hearing like from chat, like wheel clearance is an issue, which I get. Yeah, that's one that I definitely get. Mile High says more travel from the shock, which also I understand. So that's good.
It's interesting from that perspective too, because like the RDX comes with super short shocks, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
the amount of
the
amount of actual usable droop on the RDX is very minimal.
instinctually, like, we don't need a lot of travel,
Right.
right?
Ultimately, my feelings on IFS or pushrod or cantilever suspension is that it works. There's a very specific window of where it works and how it works. Does it work well? Yeah, it can. Is it overly complicated? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, is just your standard shock tower good
That's
enough?
my point. My point that I'm getting at is that it's just like, it's a thing that is done for like the wow factor and not necessarily the performance. It's just kind of like, it's like, cool, check it out, we got cantilever shocks, you know what I mean? Like,
Mile
it's
High
just like
says
sales.
you do need travel if you want more roll. Yeah, 100%. I totally agree with that. But if you've seen my high CG mini, it's crazy.
And also, yeah, like, that is absolutely true. But, you know, do you want more roll? I don't know. I don't think
Here's
the
a
trend is
departure.
definitely for us to have a lot of roll.
Here's a departure, you guys. Speaking of roll. I think this is the Traxxas. Is it a Traxxas? Or is it the
No, that's a 24, SCX 24.
Right, but they
Looks
both make them.
That's the new Bronco for the biaxial. Should be the hard body.
Right. These are way
Sure.
fun, you guys. If you haven't gotten like a 1/24th scale mini, like one of these, they're super fun.
Jose
And-
says that's an SCX.
Yeah, confirmed. It's an SCX 24. Hold on.
He says it's mine.
The funny part about SCX 24s is that they start like this, and then they end up like this, like all.
Just built, fully
Yeah.
built.
Oh yeah, mine's completely built too.
And the funny part is that
I
all
didn't
of
know
the parts,
DJ was a crawler.
all of the parts you can buy on Amazon, and it's all like 2-day, like free shipping.
Yeah.
So like
I didn't know DJ was a buggy guy and a crawler guy.
he's not so much big buggy or not so much big crawler guy. He's just big buggy guy.
Oh, this is gonna turn. Oh god, this is gonna be bad.
Tiny
Look at the
crawler.
color.
Oh my gosh.
Guess what color it is?
So clearly DJ has a preference of what.
Oh my! That thing has like 3 inches of travel.
Oh, dude, it's because it's set up, and then when it's it will really droop out when it's yeah. Yeah, no, they're the you know, I don't want to get into it, but
I want to speak to the viewers. Listen, viewers, you can trust me. All I do is drift. I don't buggy race. I don't crawl. I'm a drift guy. Kevin has tried to he begs me to race every week.
yeah, dude, come race with us.
Every week. I tell Kevin, I'm drifting. My focus is drifting. These guys
Just be lucky that my buggy wasn't operating that one day and we couldn't link it to your remote. You'd be hooked.
No, you're right. I love
No, I got
driving.
you. I got you.
I've driven buggies. I've raced. Kevin maybe race. I've done it. It's fun.
Look, there it
I
is.
love it.
Have a
I
roll.
wanna.
Yep.
I wanna
got a
be
roll
a
for
good-
you, Logan.
I want to be a good buggy guy. But yeah, it's just a matter of like, I'm so hardcore focused on competing in drift that I'm not willing to sacrifice the time it would take me to be the buggy racer that I wanted to be.
So he says.
And when you run at the same track as Andy, it's kind of like, what's the point?
But would you be in the
But-
same class as Andy? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go hard
No, you're gonna go mod straight out the bat.
for sure. Yeah. What's the point if you
I mean,
win a
look at
lower
me.
class? Like, I won the
I-
slow class. Good job. If I beat Terry and Steve,
So
that's not
okay,
that big of an accomplishment.
so guy in chat like a while ago said something about homework. Watching the yesterday live stream as I was busy doing stuff. But hey, at Yadma, me, RevD created homework. For your information, look at your YD2E. It's an RDX with a high motor and slightly different difference in rack. Yeah, I mean, sure. That's what we're looking at right now, by the way, is a YD2E with a high motor.
Thanks for coming back. We appreciate all our regulars. Got Azza, Mile High.
Oh, for everyone's information, Logan and I were doing some Assetto drifting. So if you're into that kind of stuff and have a sim rig or not, you don't need a sim rig to drift. Although the people that can actually do it on a controller, I applaud you, because I don't know how you do it on a controller.
There's a lot of I've seen controller guys crush it. It's crazy. I've seen keyboard guys crush it. You can always tell in the Assetto when someone's on a keyboard because their wheels are going like full lock to neutral to full lock. It's like that guy's ripping. That guy's ripping. Still.
Well, don't forget, as like that one time he was playing Car X with us, he was doing that with a keyboard.
Yeah. No, I believe it. Yeah, it works.
So yeah,
Listen, boys, the rig is fired up. She's ready to rip.
if you need information, go check the Discord. I have the stuff in the voice chat. If you right click, or if you just go to the chat of the voice chat, which is kind of funny when you say it, but yeah. And I'll put some stuff in the actual Assetto channel too, for the maps that we're going to be running and the cars that we're going to be running. Because you need to have those if you're going to run with us. If you don't, then you're just going to get a stupid warning.
Yep, I got booted today for not having the right version of a car.
If anything, we'll probably be running the Brooklyn Park map and the Swarm car pack. If not the Swarm car pack, then what is the other one that I did? Whatever. Yeah, just keep an eye out on it. I'll post it.
Yeah, I got some tracks we can switch out to. English Town is a good one.
I think the airport's always fun, even though that it's a larger track and you need a car with power.
Airport and English Town are my two favorites, I would say.
So bringing it back here to Guy's YD2E, I find it hilarious because when we were doing the original YD2E high motor mounts, the complaint was the fact that we had the motor, it was too high, which is why the YD2S got created and was released. But now we have this. Now we're all about the high motor, and even with the ESC being out in front too.
Yeah, as much as it pains me to say, and I built my car to be this way, I think high motor with ESC right in front of it is probably my end dream ultimate setup.
And to take away the crown from Momo, I present you this night's winner of
Oh my god.
Roast My Radio.
There's always a guy that's just gonna drop the mic.
I mean, this is Lance.
Of course it's Lance. Who else would it be?
Oh, look at those
In
radios.
Oregon. I mean, Momo and Lance could battle on old RC
But
stuff.
get
all
this,
day.
like
Hey,
this little battery meter is
I love
iconic.
yeah, I love the meter. The meter is the best.
You guys are making me bust mine out.
Oh my gosh, it's even got like it has trim. This has full trim adjustment.
Mine does too. Wait.
Yeah, DJ, that doesn't count. Your neighbor gave you that. That doesn't count. No shot.
Hey, it's in my possession.
You know what's funny though? Like there are touring car guys that win with this stuff.
I
And
want to
it's-
know
It's
what
like crazy.
level. I mean, Lance and Momo obviously are aware of each other. They're friends. They know each other.
They're aware of it. They're
When have they really gone to war like this on on electronics ever? Has it ever been a thing? And who's the winner? I mean, they both are like the most hardcore electronics guys that I know.
well, okay, but on the other hand, you have Momo who just has a whole bunch of crap. Lack of a better word, a whole bunch of crap. No, he has a whole bunch of stuff in terms of RC because he's been in the game for a really, really, really long time. And then on the other side of things, you have Lance, who has a whole bunch of old RC things.
Who's the best RC hoarder?
Yeah, Momo is definitely the best RC hoarder. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think we got to give him the win on that.
I would say that Lance is more of an aficionado of like the prime stuff.
Yeah, I think, yeah, my take on it would be Momo is the hoarder of things for sure, and Lance is just like, he's just like, he knows all the things. He knows everything.
David 1/8 scale worlds with a stick radio.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
David Ongaro is like one of the best off-road racers of all time.
Okay. Brown Rose. What we got? It's a pan car? It's the LP86 before the LP86 came out? I don't know what this is.
What is that?
It's a pan car that has McPherson strut shocks. And it's high motor, front mid rear, front ESC. I don't know what this is.
Explain.
It's cool.
Explain.
What's to explain?
No, I want Homeboy to explain it.
Oh, Brown Rose.
Yeah, Brown Rose needs to explain that. Lance types Adam in the chat. I mean, come on. Oh, is he?
This page should be safe. I'm sorry, Momo. I'm sorry that you have a whole bunch of crap. No. Yes, this is supposed to be a safe place. We are all safe, and yet we are not safe. Because I don't do the safe stuff.
I can get more faith.
Drift car from Taiwan. The motor shims SLS, MS, back in acceleration. Should have bought one from Brobnik when I had the chance. Oh, wait. Was this the Oriole chassis? Yeah. Okay. Oriole was pretty cool.
Orla?
Oriole? Is that how you say it? Or is it Oriole?
I don't know.
Because it has the line over the E.
I have no idea.
Anyway, so one other chassis, aside from this one, I'm not sure if this one did, but it was, like, the drive shaft actually went in line with the chassis. Like, there is a channel for the drive shaft that went back and then angled back up and then went into, like, a DP style, the transmission. They were also cool because they, I believe, had kind of one of the first variable dampening systems for a piston, for a shock.
Okay. How did they do it? Is it part of this or?
I don't think it's on this one. Lance is sending me unsecured pages.
Not surprising.
It is the E36 drift chassis. It is this thing. Clicking on the wrong thing.
Huh.
Oh, that sucks. You can only do about 40k RPMs or you blow the proprietary diff. That must suck.
Yeah, so basically you can't drive it.
No boost. Pretty much no boost. A 10.5 will cap out at 30.
Who would ever do no boost or turbo? I mean, that's crazy. Why would you do that?
Yeah, why would you do that, Logan?
By the way, I'm a boost guy. I'm a boost and turbo guy now.
Right?
Finally.
Yep.
Interesting,
got a
interesting
rad and
stuff.
an agile. I'm running Vittorio's tune right now. It's pretty good.
You plan on getting any capacitors or any whatever things to make it try to run
Yeah.
smoother?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I gotta get all the capacitors. Yep.
Speaking of, well, actually, okay. Let me come back to this.
Yeah, where's this show
Last
going right now?
last one here. A last drift car that that just got posted. Pretty slick S15. It's clean.
Who
Definitely
posted
clean.
that?
Severon. Severion? I have no idea how to say that. I just know that he talks to me.
Oh no.
This is the Origin Labo S15 from Pandora, I believe.
Yeah, body kit looks really familiar, like the body kit that I had or still have.
I always liked how they did the flares, like this and their
Yeah.
I don't
So-
remember.
Glass desk is the worst choice you'll ever make in your life.
I believe that's what you said about roast my workbench too, because that's
Yeah.
the same workbench.
Same deal. Glass desk. Imagine. It's awful.
Brown Rose, congrats on the boost, Logan. Big step.
I will say, like, I think the whole time I knew those things were obviously it's an advantageous ability, tool, accessory, whatever you want to call it. But I think especially, you know, I want to bring on like Cody Walker from Tandem. But I think driving for such a long time with no boost or turbo, ultimately I think
It helps.
improved. I think it improved my skill. I really do. I think it helped me like become faster just on the finger.
You're the Takumi of Initial D.
I don't understand the reference, but I will take it.
See, you need to become a more big anime guy. I bet you almost everyone in chat knows who Takumi from Initial D is. You guys.
Yeah, I can't say. I know Initial D is like Bible for us, but I can't say that I've watched a lot of it.
For shame.
I know.
If anything, if y'all are watching MF Ghost, it's pretty cool. Or if you haven't watched it, go watch it. And there's a lot of references going back to Initial D. Or at least the names are. And it is kind of interesting to see how like the relationships go on. But yeah, MF Ghost, check it out. Do we really need to take a poll on that? I don't think we need to take a poll.
Momo, ask Adam if I can drift. Ask him. In chat. Ask him.
For reference, you guys, what we're looking at in chat is a full 10 scale, followed by a 1/24th SCX10, followed by a thing. I think it's a panda. Like, it's called a panda. What is it called, Lance? I think it's a panda. Logan is more like... I don't know about that. Orlando.
Adam, we drove a Seto before this stream. Can I drive? Can I drift?
Yes, you can. Did
Sorry,
you need
I
that
didn't
to be
watch
more excited.
Initial. No, that's great. That's perfect. That's exactly what I was asking for. I'm sorry I didn't watch Initial D a bunch. I watched. Look, I go. Fast and Furious comes out around my birthday every year. That's my favorite thing to do on my birthday. That's the best I can do. I
It's
love
about to
Fast
be.
and Furious.
You've got 2 more Fast and Furiouses to go.
Yeah, I'm
What
down.
What are you
I
gonna
love it.
do when it's over?
Kill myself. I think.
Oh no! Don't do that. Okay.
Honestly, like no joke. Those are that's my favorite movies. All of those. I love Fast and Furious.
That's like me and the Resident Evil movies. I just
Not even trying to be sarcastic. I also love the Resident Evil movies. You're right.
like the problem with the Resident Evil movies is that I just go to see what happens now, even though that I know
Yeah.
that they suck.
Yeah, the last few have been weird. Like they go into the city, whatever, and not having Mila is tough. But yeah, I love those movies.
Momo, is MF Ghost free online, or do you have to have the subscription for an anime channel? I have a subscription to Crunchyroll, so I don't know if it's available free or not, but it is on Crunchyroll. We got, how do you like the new RE4, Adam? What? The what? I don't know what you mean, Jose. Logan is clearly so. I hate the stupid heart. The heart always gets in the way. Is clearly a salt of the earth type, isn't he?
That's up to you guys.
Thanks for the link, Bart. Oh, okay. Not even me. Okay. Oh, the remake. It's not a remake. Are we talking about MF Ghost? MF Ghost is not a remake. Or are you talking about like the weird remake of the Initial D's
Resident
into
Evil.
like movie forms?
Resident Evil 4.
Evil. I don't remember.
What is that? I'm not a good enough fan
They
of
all
the game.
They blend
Never,
together.
I actually never really played the games. I just love the
Oh,
movies.
Yeah, I don't play the games. I'm sorry.
Same. I remember playing vaguely some of the games, but mostly I just like Mila Jovovich. That's about it.
Switching gears here. Hey, Lance, can you give us a price update on the chassis? Let's talk about this, because this is actually really, really cool. So this is the second batch that came after the first batch of the Midnight Designs Shark conversion, YD2 conversion, whatever conversion that you want. We've got a whole bunch of different parts, including the high battery mount plate.
Wow. So many parts.
Yeah. And I believe if he shoots in chat, Lance, how much is the chassis with optional parts? Anyways, my favorite piece is the bumper.
Can you stock minis? Because I feel like I've seen people trying to buy minis.
Who said that?
I'm saying that. I think I've seen people online asking how to buy cars that fit their body that they want.
Who was it? I think it was I don't remember. Someone was like, "Hey, what's a recommendation for this body?" I'm like, "Ha ha ha ha." Yeah, like everybody else. The RMXM right now.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, the mini chassis should be available in stock. You know, maybe not a lot of them, but occasionally it comes up.
Yeah,
people want to run those bodies.
For sure. And like, if we get enough interest, I'm sure that we can run and even run a small run. Like, that'd be fine, maybe, but we'll see. So, okay, this chassis altogether is $120 minus the stuff, right? But the rear handle is $10 and the weight tray is $25. So for a total of do math, $155, not including shipping, I think. You can have all of this, $155. Well, okay, correction. You can have a set of all of this. Okay. What do we got? Yeah, so going back to the whole Aureolite dampening thingy, did you see the Baula page, the fantasy guy?
Yep. I follow him religiously. I love what he's doing. And I wish what he makes was I don't think there's a reason. I don't know there's a valid reason for his chassis to not be allowed.
The fantasy guy, yes,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same opinion. However, the fantasies that I have seen and driven are probably not that special either. I'd like to go and see some other fantasies and see how they tune and how they drive comparatively.
Yeah.
But my distinct impression right now is that there's no big advantage over like a modern chassis today.
Nope.
I don't think so.
100%.
But the real issue of this is the idea, when we're talking about the fantasy, not the shock that's on the screen, but the whole idea of the solid rear axle, the pod style suspension versus touring car suspension. That's where the real debate lies. It's within the touring car rules. That's all that it is. So
I think that the sport is so small at this point that we should just let whatever run what you brung kind of situation and figure it out. I think the rules that we have around that are probably kind of off the cuff.
Sorry.
No. Well, they're kind of off the cuff. They're out of anxiety or uncertainty, and seems kind of silly at this point in the sport's lifetime to limit innovation like that. So I would love to see a more open rule set for us, because it's not super prohibitive for people to compete with things like this, in the way that it would be in real cars.
Right. Yeah, like I just think it's funny that it's all based off of rules that were made initially, like right from the get-go, right from the start, based off of touring cars, and it hasn't changed or evolved. That's my big thing about it. Anyway, this is a adjustable dampener. So something aside from the Yeah Racing Cutis world and the HRC nerds. Which is funny when you say it like that, because you have like Yeah
The
Racing.
cheapest company in drifting and the most expensive company in drifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no in between, not at all.
No in between. Well, here's the in between.
Right.
I just don't. I'm not on the page of like, obviously adjust dampening, but that's kind of a general thing. And once you, for the objective that you're shooting for the, say your goal is to adjust dampening to figure out what is the optimal rate for me in my car in this current chassis. It's like, it's a one-time deal. So it being adjustable, unless you're someone that's like going to a bunch of different tracks, which is pretty rare, I would say, at least in the US on the West Coast. None of us are really, we drive at our home track and or Super G.
No, it's most of us drive at our home track.
Yeah. So like, it's not adjusting damping quickly is not really a important it's not an important feature really for us, because you just don't, it's not necessary. You can change your oil or your pistons pretty easily. Doing it on the fly is not that valuable to us, I would say.
I mean, in a competition aspect where you have to be able to do that, then yeah. But at the same time, there's pros and cons to the adjustments itself. This I actually see a lot less. I see this style of shock being more serviceable than HRC nerds, though, because with HRC nerds, you need to basically disassemble the entire thing if you ever want to do a spring change.
And what I've heard with nerds is that they constantly unadjust themselves.
They self-adjust. Yeah. But there are ways to get around that too, like locking nuts.
Yeah.
So it's not like it hasn't been addressed. It's just like you gotta figure it out. But from everyone that I've talked to about HRC nerds, is the constant answer is it's great for traveling.
Yep.
That's all.
And I will say to the chat's point, Mile High called out Chris, the establishment. He might be the only guy that needs these. I don't know of a whole lot of people. I mean, Chris is the ultimate like world traveler, obviously, with his work. I love that guy. He's cool as hell, and I can't wait for him to come back to Portland. But yeah, he might be the only guy that like actually legitimately has a use for adjustable dampening, because honestly, for us, once we get it set, it's just kind of, it is what it is. And you change your weight and your equipment, whatever you need to adjust it, that's fine. But as far as like adjusting it on the fly, your dampening, I think Chris of the establishment drift team is probably the only person in the country that can justify a use for that.
Oh, I'm sure there are more people that can make the justification.
That travel as much as him? I mean, this
that
guy's
travels
everywhere.
as much as him? No, not at all. He is everywhere.
Everyone in the community knows who Chris is.
Yes, I would agree with that statement. Okay, moving on. This new PDS, or not? Whoa, not PDS. Pigeon. Is it? What is it?
What is the Pigeon? Explain to me the Pigeon.
It's a TDP. There we go. TDP chassis. It's a YD2 conversion. The guys from Elite Drift up in Canada were like, this is their chassis that they primarily run, and it did really, really well. So I think this is just an update to their chassis. They added push rod suspension. This is actually really interesting too because they're coming from the back side of the piston or the back side of the front arm instead of the front.
Yep.
So kind of interesting of why they did that. It moves the weight a little bit back further. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah.
Chris, the traveling establishment.
I think he needs a rebranding because he's like obviously he's part of the establishment drift team, and you would want to be a part of that team with Justin. But Chris, I think he needs like, I don't know.
It's fine. He's fine.
He's got to do something better for himself. He's the most traveled drifter I know, by far.
This was like kind of the first, not this iteration of it, but the Pigeon was kind of like the first big development for like a YD2 conversion. Before we started seeing.
We have a Bob drives a Pigeon.
Oh yeah.
Yep, in our comp series.
Oh, that's right. But yeah, new developments.
It was funny because I was doing tech and he kept saying, I was like, "What's your chassis?" And he said Pigeon. I was like, "Huh? What's your chassis?" And he said Pigeon. I was like, "Oh, okay. Never heard of it."
Logan the noob.
I am a noob. I don't ever argue against it. I am definitely a noob.
So this is interesting. RC Arlos. This is about their website launching, not necessarily about a chassis. So I don't know what the chassis is about.
I don't know what that picture is, but that looks like a chassis to me.
Honestly, I hope this isn't like a B&D type of nightmare. Hopefully if this is real, then that'll be cool, but hopefully it's not a B&D stupid thing.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me, the biggest takeaway for me from that picture is there is nothing connecting the upper end of it. Like there's no upper deck. There's no, just a lower chassis.
Could just be a really thick carbon chassis on the bottom.
Yeah, I guess. And the servo position also looks really strange.
No. I mean, it's
you
just
don't think
tall.
So?
No. You know why? Hold on. Let me show you.
Is it direct drive?
I'd wager a bet, yeah.
I mean, it must be at that point. Okay. What is that? The Yogi?
No.
That's your
That's
crazy
the
weight shift
Mini.
chassis, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not fine. I'm just saying it's unusual. And then, it's definitely like a transmission setup is curious. Battery retention looks optimistic at best. I don't know.
I mean, if you want weird servo layout, then you go with the Nervous VX stock version 1. It goes right in the front.
Know. That looks crazy.
This was a pain in the butt to tune though, because if you weren't running all one up parts, the location of everything was not right, so you had to do a lot of playing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be interesting from a company that mainly designs bodies stepping into a world of chassis. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
They're definitely like, I think to me it's obvious they are a very like high tech industry company. I think the RC stuff is a hobby for them. So I think my envision is like it's a very high tech like machine shop,
Mhm.
and the owner happens to be into RC.
Right.
Because if you look at their bodies and what it takes to actually build them, it's like they made insane molds. They're probably like a tool and die shop, but they made crazy molds. And I remember looking into what it would take to just build a Yaris, a GR Yaris from them with all the accessories and stuff. It's like $400.
Yeah, the
for all
accessories
the-
is what kills for sure.
Yeah, the wing, the lights, everything. It's like, yeah, definitely. In my experience, it's like they probably are a tool and die shop / machine shop general, and one of the owner happens to be into RC stuff, and they can make whatever they want. So, yeah, I think along the lines of their stuff will be expensive but high quality.
Well, as long as you don't need like the extra accessory stuff, their bodies are fairly priced. Like the majority of it's fine. It's all the fine pieces.
Yeah.
So here it is. Lance's Midnight Shark with all the bits.
With all the gubbins.
Yep. And I can confirm it drives good.
Yeah, I can too. Adam drives good.
Does he have his ESC mounted to the bottom of his battery tray?
Yeah, RER style. I'm serious though. Like, there's an actual top mount underside mounting tray for the RER.
Oh, okay. So, like that's like
not,
a legit thing.
Yeah, not just
No,
making that up.
No, I kind of hinted your joke and like, but like no, that's legit. That they make like an actual mounting plate for the ESC. I thought it would just be like just stick it on the bottom of the battery tray. It'll be good.
I mean, if you've seen Guys RDX, it was pretty funny because instead of a fan, he put the ESC there.
I haven't. Yeah, no, I haven't seen his chassis.
I don't know if he still has it like that. That was a while ago. I think that was pre SDC.
Oh,
Anyway, let's see. Okay, we're actually done with all the Roast My Rigs and Product Watch. Oh my gosh.
that's crazy.
Like, actually.
I know we didn't have to like pause because we were just taking so long. Like we actually made it through everything.
I have a topic that I want to bring up, especially for the local people. Before we shut down.
Okay.
So we're in a situation with our comp series, right? Where there's like a few of us that are quote unquote running the series that also want to compete. Like, our main goal is competing. That would be me, Jake, Judson, maybe not, but mainly me and Jacob. I guess it's just Jake. Me and Jake. So we're, balancing a conundrum where we're kind of running it, also wanting to compete, and also at the same time, like, to be kind of frank, like, we're towards the top end of the competition. So I'm interested in hearing from the people, from our viewers, and anyone in the area, like, what we can get away with as far as running competitions. It's so hard. I know. Getting the comment of some humble. Yeah. Just look at the results. But so like current thing that we're arguing about is track layout. Obviously we have a lot of people that commute down from Seattle for our current series. I think for Super G series that won't be the case. I think they have their own region, hopefully. God damn it. So we're like questioning about like when do people, as far as the layout of the track and the zones, what kind of plan is acceptable to people that are like traveling or people that are just participating in our competitions? Like, what do they want to see as far as the layout goes or the track goes? Obviously, I think, my ideal situation is nobody drives on the layout until, practice starts. That's not always a convenient or possible thing to do. I know at Super G they put in the comp layout like a few days before, and maybe they don't put the zones down, but they at least put the general layout down. So as the person who's somewhat, in control of that, I'd be interested to hear from our viewers what they think of that.
I mean, I'd say that the layout is fine. Because that way you can do it ahead of time without any big debacles or anything like that. Not to mention that it also gives you the ability to figure out where your clipping points are. Essentially being able to see the flow of where everyone's driving and seeing how everyone drives it. Then you can put the clipping points wherever you want.
Yeah.
Brown Rose. Oh.
And that's Bard.
Yeah, I
Me
know.
coming from going down to like Super G, I know they had the track layout, and then they didn't obviously do a new track layout. So like for the few days that they had it open, they had a track just with no zones. So then you just had to guess on where your zones were potentially going to be at. So
yeah, I think that's
I like that.
Kind of what I'm leaning towards. But for us, that means like working with the schedule that we have available. I think that means like maybe putting in the general layout on a Monday when PDX is obviously closed, and then having that open throughout the week, and then putting in the zones either Saturday after hours or Sunday before hours.
Yeah, but I was gonna say for our track stuff, if we do a track change on Monday and we do a tandem Tuesday with no zones, how are we judging that?
You can still do zones on any layout and then take them out. Like, zones will be different.
But someone has to. Someone still has to do that, and that mostly falls down to me. It's just a matter of like, so for me, what we're looking at, I would say for the next comp, just to give you guys an idea, is I'm someone who, my personal goal for myself is to win one of these Protect Series comps, but at the same time I'm balancing. We're talking this for the next comp. To give an example, tracks open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday. Then Jake and I will go in and change the whole, like, full layout change. Whatever we got to do from 5 p.m. Saturday, the track opens again at 10 a.m. Sunday, and our goal is to have the 10 a.m. like everybody can come in and start practicing for the comp. So that means we have from 5 p.m. Saturday to 10 a.m. Sunday to put in a whole fresh layout, and then Sunday I get there, we start, put in the zones, whatever. I'm handling registration, setting up qualifying, running the whole comp. And again, keep in mind, I'm like, my goal is to win this comp. So like, yeah, it just limits a whole lot for me compared to other people of like practice and but you know, at the same time, I also feel some guilt of like, I set up this track. If I win on it, it's kind of rigged. It's kind of literally rigged at that point. I'm also judging the whole competition, so obviously rigged. So like,
I think this whole thing's just rigged.
And the whole everyone that's willing, all the people that are willing to judge are like people that would finish in the top 5. So it's like also rigged, heavy rigged. So like, even if I do end up winning a comp in this series, it's like, I made the track, I judged the competition, I ran the competition, I calculated all qualifying scores, did all this stuff. Like, it won't ever feel like a accomplishment for me, and I'll have done all this work, and I'll have sacrificed all my practice time to do it. It's just like, man, it's a lot. And I was really like, I don't know.
But maybe then it's time to delegate it to someone else.
That would be great if there was people.
I think that's what he was trying to say. Just in a.
There are people that are willing to help. It's just the art of asking, because judging sucks no matter how you do it, right? And nobody wants to do it because of the precognition or preconceived notion of what judging is.
Our biggest issue right now is that we don't have anyone. We all want to compete, so we don't have anyone that's willing to judge and not compete, basically.
I mean, if running the shop wasn't a thing, then you'd have Kevin and Alex.
Yeah, but I mean,
granted, then the
reality is that they have to run the shop. Like, it's not a day where they can shut down and just judge a competition. It's still a, you know, buggy. They have a whole off-road track to run. I think Kevin had talked about judging himself before, but you know, he's also very much new to the sport and wouldn't necessarily, by his own admission, wouldn't make a great judge right now.
I mean, when you put it that way, a lot of people would not make a good ideal judge. Right?
No, I agree. No, and we've even said in our group, like, I'm totally would take especially in this current Pro Tech series where we're just trying to learn how to do it. I would totally take like anyone, regardless of whether they've judged before. If we have anyone that's just willing to, when we do our competitions, be just a judge, regardless of their competence or experience, I'll take them on right now and we'll train them and we'll show them how to judge, right? Like, but that just hasn't really shown up, that situation.
Yeah, Bart's got it. It's never going to be perfect. You just need to let everyone know that. Seems like you have a good group of dudes. You will work all those kinks out.
Yeah, that's definitely, I think we've said and felt that. I don't think anybody from the last competition was like overly disappointed in how we ran things. It was just like a fair kind of vote by vote situation. But at the same time, like, I want to, my personal goal is to bring and grow our scene as much as possible and have as many hard-hitting, nutty, like, just crazy drivers at our track as possible. And I think to do that, we have to run everything as smoothly and just grow as much as possible. Like, iron sharpens iron. It is a totally selfish goal. Like, my goal is for me to get as my goal is for me to be the best driver of all time. So therefore, I need the best tandem partners of all time. So my goal is only to grow my own scene. It's just hard. It's a small area. We have what we have. We got to do the best we can.
I mean, the way that we did it last year is we had started out with initial judges, and then we, by other occurrences and other means, we eventually just swapped them out to other judges, just because of the whole idea of judging, right? But I always had a group of people that I could call, and that would do the judging, just because as far as qualification goes, the qualification standards weren't actually all that difficult to do. It was just the fact that you had to complete it, right? So this, yeah, is a way to hammer things out, but like when it comes to it, I think that the important part is, how do you need to qualify? Like if you're in it to win it and you want the the top seed in for qualification, then like in the Super G series, I don't see you like running the show. I see you just stepping back and doing the actual series.
Yeah,
So-
don't get me wrong. Believe me, I understand. Like, definitely for me, for my best performance, I would not be running the competition. I would love that, but the reality is, I don't think without people like me and Judd and Jake, I think the reality is the series doesn't really happen at PDX unless we're willing to put in the work.
Oh, I know.
My biggest fear, I know you know, I'm just, for the chat, my biggest fear would be that, it just doesn't really happen, drift doesn't really grow, and then PDX underground just ends up not being able to run a track. That's my biggest fear, because without PDX, my whole plan doesn't work.
Logan's
So-
brewing up a master plan.
I'm not. I'm really not. I don't have the money to run a track. I wish I did.
Things will hammer itself out. Like,
I hope so.
so, I mean, if we
I'm
think
s-
about
I-
it, if we
the
think about
bottom-
it,
So let me just make this point. The bottom line is, both Jake and myself are sacrificing our own performance at each comp to make it happen, and that is just a cold hard fact. We're running the competition. We're putting in the layout. The next round, we're gonna be staying up until 10, 11 o'clock, putting in the track, making sure it's really good because we want it to be better than last time. And then the next day, we're both going to be running the competition, and that's a burden. That is a part of what we're doing that will prevent us from being as good as we could be in the competition. Bottom line, it's just what it is. It's how it works. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. It's just like, if we're the people that have to do it, then it is what it is. I want competitions to happen, and whatever, we'll do it.
Bart, that is the actual problem. No one wants to actually step up.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, we've stepped up is the thing. Like,
Austin, I've offered
Austin.
to help. Yeah, I mean, it's the capacity of what everyone wants to do and what everyone wants to delegate. Like, that is one of the biggest problems that I had when I was trying to organize the competitions last year. Like, I knew who I had for my pool of judges. I knew who I had for my help. I was still overloaded, though, like, in terms of getting the track ready, doing all the clipping points, or thinking about where clipping points just have them change in the end or right before a competition. So yeah, it needs to be a committee, like full-fledged committee that actually runs it instead of just
I would love to
handful.
have more like town meeting kind of things. And Austin, like, I appreciate that you're willing to help, but most of the time I think your work schedule prevents that. So, you know, that is what it is. You know,
Or-
people, I don't expect people to drop their actual jobs to come help us, but at the same time, like, I want people to be aware of the sacrifice that we are making to keep this going. I want to say this. I don't think I heard a single person say thank you at the last event. And that's just being real. That's being real. I mean, I don't expect you to say it, Adam,
He just
because I
dropped
know
the mic.
you're working too, but I don't think one person said, "Hey, thanks," at the last round. Which is, you know, I'll do it either way, but you know, it just says a lot. Bart is reflecting. I think he said, "Yeah." I think Bart thinks I'm crazy for expecting that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
So now we need to figure out how to bring everybody back up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I want everyone to come to our events. I think they're good. I think, you know, we're learning how to do it better. We definitely will be just judging next time. We did the judging situation of the last round was a community vote, and the community just happened to be wrong that time. That's okay. We're learning.
I mean, I don't think community just happened to be wrong. Everybody knew it. It's just that's what needed to happen so that everyone could compete, supposedly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, personally, I hate the idea of judging and competing, especially when the judges are, like, most likely, I mean, let's be real, the people that we have that could be judges, I'll exclude myself from this, but, like, the judges that we would have are people that will most likely win the event. So I'm talking about James, Jake, Justin. Those people are gonna be winning the event, so it's a little awkward, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but, like, this
I mean,
doesn't.
we also have a drop one comp rule going as well. So it's not like you couldn't say, "Hey, you're judging this week." Just to put that out there.
I brought that up, but, you know, it is. I understand the point of, like, it's hard to tell someone, "Hey, you drove 2 hours to our event, and now you're judging." That's
Well, unless we
definitely
made
not.
like a little post about it saying, "Hey guys, just a heads up, be aware that this next comp, you could potentially be a judge." I mean, I'm not trying to scare away our competition or anyone,
Yeah,
but it's
I,
just a fair way to put it out there.
I've definitely brought that up. The idea of, like, it's like from a cool, like, from a wild card, like, you're judging today, and that was negatively received, I would say.
Well, it threw me off when you guys asked me to be a judge that one day, but I still kind of tried to step up and do it.
For sure. And yeah, we appreciate it.
And I think the people are there. It's just you need to either find them or it just needs to be brought up on kind of like on a personal level. Like everybody that I had judge, and the Super G series was not just me. right? It was the whole Midnight Suns group as a whole. Like, we all did that. We all sat. I conversed with everybody about prizes and all that fun stuff. Like when we were talking about gummy hot dogs for prizes, that was all consulted about in a chat, like in real time. Everything was considered above, like, with multiple people. So those are just the people that you gotta find to be able to help run the series, or else, like, you're going to be too stressed out trying to do everything with only so few hands. That's how it's gonna play out every single time.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I'm doing the best that I can. I know Jake is, and I know Kevin is. It is what it is. Whatever. Like I said, my goal is to expand our scene. I want our group to grow, and I think the better our group gets, the better I get as a driver. So personally, I'm willing to sacrifice whatever it is. Yeah, it is what it is.
I mean,
I'll keep doing what I'm doing.
We have Cameron here offering to judge instead of comp, and got forced to comp.
Yeah, that's just like straight up because we were at 17 entries.
No, it was at 16. You forgot to -1. At the time, you forgot to -1.
Whatever it was at, it was like Cameron made the whole bracket work, and
you don't need matching numbers to make a bracket work. There's always going to be buy runs that are automatically created.
Yeah, it was just more convenient. There's definitely a number of people that makes it more convenient.
Anyways, so January 21st is the competition. January 20th, the track is going to be open. So if you guys are coming down like a day early to have fun, do it.
Yep, track will be open. Yep.
DJ, you're really quiet.
Yeah. I'm getting tired.
I think you need more shocks to tune.
Yeah. I forgot to do my front ones.
I did want to talk about I wanted to see what people thought about I tried to talk about this to Ron, but track layout. So personally, my ideal situation is we do a major track change the day before a competition, and when people show up at 10 a.m. on comp day, the track is done. It's complete. The zones are in, and everybody gets to just practice on it. Because honestly, my goal is like tight battles. Like everybody, I don't want anyone to be like, I didn't know the track that well. I don't want anyone to be able to use that as an excuse. So I'd be curious to ask like the chat and you guys, like, what your preference is as far as track layout and competitions go. Like, we could easily put in a really killer layout a week before the competition. I don't think everybody would be down with that.
I mean, I don't think killer layouts are necessarily absolutely key in this either, right? Because a layout is going to be a layout no matter what you do.
Yeah, that's true. We're also operating a business, you know.
Japan gives you like 5 minutes to practice before qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, in our case, like, for the current series we have, I wouldn't feel comfortable putting in a layout like a week before because we have a lot of guys coming down from Seattle. But come Super G time, they have their own region. Then I'm like a little more cool with it because sorry, you can't make it to the track. I mean, Super G Nationals, they put in their layout, what, like 4 or 5 days before the actual event?
I think they were closed though. Not 100% on that.
Yeah, but I mean, people were showing up like a Wednesday or Thursday and driving at least the.
Okay, yeah. So yeah.
But no one knew the layout.
Yeah, no zones, but
no zones were out, but
layout.
the layout was there. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, because we all showed up, or at least
when did they put the zones in?
like
the night before when everyone was gone.
Yeah. So that's along the lines of what I would want to do, like iron out a sick layout, hopefully leading up to the event, and then the day of the event, everyone drives the zones for the first time.
That's fine, but there's still going to be people that complain that they don't have enough time on the track just because of when they show up. That's their fault. That's their prerogative to be on the track.
If it's the day of and you weren't there when we opened, that sucks. Get over it. Sorry. It takes us time to put in a good track that actually like works good. Like I don't even think the last comp, and I think Jake and Judd would both agree with me, like the last comp wasn't as good as it could have been. Like we can definitely make a better track than what we ran. It's like the time that we had, we did the best with what we could.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys did that. I mean, you kind of had to, but
yeah, it wouldn't have been fair to anybody if we just left it, because I've been, I go to the track 3 days a week. I got hours and hours and hours on any layout over most of the people that go to comps, so it just wouldn't be fair. I wouldn't be proud of myself for winning on that kind of thing, right? Like,
you know what the fix is? I know what the fix is. Have Jake drive his Mini and set the clipping zones, and then try to get to those same clipping zones with your full-size cars.
Well, pretty soon I'll have an E36 compact TI, so probably wouldn't be that hard.
Anyways, so we're just rambling and being in a bad mood right now, apparently.
And it's 11 o'clock.
So, okay. To bring it back, you guys. To bring it back. How about we come up with a fun, creative way for Logan, for DJ, actually, because he was building the shocks earlier. How about we come up with a fun, creative way for DJ to build his shocks?
And how do you build shocks? Everyone builds shocks differently.
No, we're not going to talk about that. I would say, let's have you do how are your shocks right now, DJ?
So right now I have the 5-weight CST in it, and the stock springs and Yokomo cream O-rings on my MST TR56s. So like nothing special. Like the only thing that I've done to them is just the Yokomo O-rings, just to help with smooth shaft play.
Okay. Do you have any extra pistons?
No, I had no extra pistons. They're not drilled out. I think I just opened them up and they're 3-hole, so it's like they're pretty bare.
Okay, you need to go to 6-hole, 1.2 millimeter. So basically the same specs as the Yokomo tapered pistons. So 6-hole, 1.2 millimeters with 50 weight or 50 CST oil. Yeah.
Do it. Without question, do it.
or that setup with Axon 0 weight zero CST oil.
Yeah. My setup right now is stock big bore pistons in like 30. What did I get, DJ?
I don't know.
You're on 37.2 shock weight oil or something like that.
in
Or
a drift
32 and a
car.
half.
And Tuesday, my car was by far the fastest car. Easily. So point is, I don't know that the softest setup possible is the way to go.
It's driving style.
Yeah.
And I said fun
Yeah.
and creative. I didn't mean it to make sense.
Fun and creative is, look at the way my weights are on my car right now. They're stupid.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was about to change my shock oil to 15 weight just to try that, but I didn't. I went back to my normal route. And then I guess for pistons too, I'm assuming I'd probably just have to drill them out because I'm not too sure if MST makes many other.
Yeah, my
Nope.
thing with pistons and oil, it's all the same thing. So like, I think you want a pretty, in general, I think you want a pretty big piston size just to avoid any of the packing effect. And then the difference between piston area and oil, it's all tunable. So it's kind of all the same thing. So I think you want big enough pistons area to avoid any effective packing, which is like the fast shock of a damper, which we don't really see in drifting. So it doesn't take that much. But then I think you just tune it with one or the other. It doesn't really matter. It's
Yeah, I
piston
can take my-
area
It's
and oil is the same thing.
but it's
effectively.
trying to get there, right?
Yeah.
Getting stiffer is easy. Getting softer is not as easy if you're already like
yeah, you're right.
ha ha ha. Anyways, you guys, it's that time. If anything, let's see. What's next week? Next week
What is this show?
Next week's the 30th. Oh yeah.
What do
We
we got?
won't be here.
We won't?
No, because as long as we keep to our plans, we'll probably be at Top Golf.
Oh yeah. We can stream from Top Golf.
No.
Yeah. If you're a
Anyways.
PDX guy, we're going to Top Golf.
Yeah, so probably no stream next week unless something else happens where we don't make it up there or something just is weird.
No,
Anyways,
we're going to Top Golf. I'm pretty well invested into that.
I mean, we should actually reserve the bay, to be honest.
I'll do that on Friday.
Okay. And we need to get an RSVP list too.
Yeah.
But
I'll be going. I've got the day off.
just as a teaser, you guys, for January. January is pretty stacked and going into February. On the 6th of January, we've got we got Trey with Tech 1. The 13th, we've got Mark with RC Basement and Scale Science. We've got on the 20th, Josh Florido from eSpace Sliders. 27th is still tentative. Maybe looking for that. The 3rd of February, we've got Vittorio on the show.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's because I do things.
That'll be a fun one
He
for you
makes
guys.
the plays.
So yeah. Keep tuning in. Hopefully we can keep making entertaining shows for you, informative shows that don't end in such a dreary mental note. So
Whatever. We're having a good time. It's Merry Christmas, everybody.
yeah, just say Mark from Mile High. Yeah, that makes a lot more. Yeah, we'll do.
Mark.
Oh,
Mark.
hey. We got David Tuggle requesting the 27th. I think they're. Oh shoot, David, what track are you with again? I think Tandem Tac. Hold on.
I did not see them in
Slideworks.
chat
They are
as
from
much
Slideworks.
anymore. Slide lines.
No, Slideworks. So yeah, we'll have to David and Dalton, I think. That's who it is. Anyways, Slideworks. We can do that on the 27th. So I will put that in there right now. If you guys know any shop owners or people that would be cool, or can like scandal like Miko into an interview, maybe that'd be fun. If not, I'll try Miko.
I want
later.
to. I want to get some like East Coast people because I feel like they're misrepresented in generally the West Coast.
They'd be
Yeah.
up pretty late.
Yeah, they would. It'd be 3 o'clock.
Can you do an interview at 1 a.m. in the morning?
Okay. Anyways, that's it. You guys stay safe. Have fun. It's Merry Christmas. It's Christmas time. Yeah. Get good presents. If not, go get good presents. Do all that fun stuff.
Good luck,
Don't
boys,
be a
on your
last-minute
gift
shopper.
journeys.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
don't be a last minute shopper according to DJ because he's in
Definitely-
that position.
Definitely already
I
be done
very
shopping.
dislike it.
Yep.
Get
All
your
right.
shopping done.
And I need to find the button. You guys take it easy.
See
Later.
ya.